Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears.
Welcome to Soldier Field, Chicago. Every number is covered, 64,519. They're all here to see Green Bay go down the tubes, but maybe not. I'm Tom Brookshire with Johnny Morris, the all-time great Chicago receiver. And, John, can the Packers really turn it around? Are they really as good as everybody says they are coming in?
Well, I think they're going to turn it around, Tom. Whether they can come all the way back, we're going to have to find out. But as you mentioned, they've been hot. The Packers have been hot. Lynn Dickey completed 45 of 68 passes during the exhibition season. They beat 3 good teams, and he is healthy. The Packers' offense has been strong. The defense has improved. That was the weakness last year, 28th on defense. So the Green Bay Packers are ready for the Bears, and they have some extra incentive because they lost 61-7, as you know, last season. Now for the Chicago Bears, Vince Evans is very strong. As you know, he has won the starting job. He completed 75% of his passes, and he has Walter Payton, number 34, who is chomping at the bit. Walter is ready to go. He has over 8,000 yards as we're ready for the kickoff.
Okay, John, there's the kickoff by Thomas. It's taken by Freddie Nixon, the Oklahoman, and he gets out to the 27.5-yard line. The Bears were worried about Thomas. He had a slight pull in his kicking leg, but he got that one about as deep as he kicks it normally anyway. There's the Packers sideline. It's a beautiful day, about 60 degrees, 65 degrees, a little breezy, but gorgeous right here in Lake Michigan. There's the lineup. Lynn Dickey, the quarterback. Ivory, the tailback. Ellis, the good fullback. And Concord, Goforth, McCarron, Harris, Cook, and Paul Kaufman, the underrated tight end. Lofton now is out to the left, to the bottom of your screen. Oh, they shift out into an I with a slot left. On first down, on the 28-yard line, man in motion. Inside to Ivory. Looked like Hampton made the tackle, number 99, but he picked up some yardage. About 3 for Ivory.
Do you think these guys are ready to play football? Bears and Packers, 62nd season. That's a long time ago. Back in 1921 they began. As you look at the Bears defensive line, Hampton, who made that tackle a moment ago, Jim Osborne, Alan Page in his 15th year. There are the linebackers, Wilson, Coons, and Campbell. Coons getting the start. And the defensive backfield, Schmidt, Fensick, Walderscheid, and rookie Reuben Henderson.
Second down and 7 on the 31. Man in motion is Thompson. Dickey, long call. And here's a sweep by Ivory. Cut back and drop. Good play by the outside linebacker, number 55, Otis Wilson.
You're right. He came across the line of scrimmage and hit Gary Ellis and just jammed up the play as the Packers have not been able to move on the ground. It'll be interesting to see how the Packers approach this game as you look at Eddie Lee Ivory, who rushed for 831 yards last season.
Well, he's a good-looking running back when he's healthy, and he is. Now, we got a passing situation. It's 3rd and 6 on the 32, John. What do we look for, you think?
Well, the Bears like to blitz, and they like to blitz a guy like Lynn Dickey, who can, if you give him time, he can really throw on you. So we'll have to see how they approach it here early in the game.
Doug Plank has gone in now for the extra defensive back in the nickel. No blitz. They backed out of it. Little pressure. Good catch by Kaufman. Down to the 37-yard line, and maybe a fumble. The Bears think they have the ball. What a throw by Dickey under pressure.
Oh, he really was. Mike Hartenstein, Dan Hampton were all over Dickey, and he just lifted the ball up and over and got it downfield to Kaufman. It's a first down for the Green Bay Packers. There was no blitz. The 4-man rush was pretty strong, as here comes Mike Hartenstein, who got by Concord, and he just dumped the ball up and over. Great play as Paul Kaufman gives Green Bay the first down of the year for anybody in the NFL except Minnesota and Tampa Bay last night, I guess.
Okay, Fensick in on that last tackle, but the Packers are moving on the 41 of the Bears. Moving. First series on offense for 1981. Here's a play-action pass by Dickey. He's going to the outside to Lofton, but overthrows him. Henderson is there.
They had double coverage on James Lofton that time, and he's going to get that all afternoon. They had inside help, so Henderson knew that if Lofton went across the field, he could let him go inside, outside, and that's going to be tough to throw into. And if I was a Chicago Bear defense, I would give double coverage to James Lofton, wouldn't you?
Every time. Coming out of the men's room, I would double up on him. He long jumped 27 feet in college, which shows you he is a gifted athlete.
If you're going to throw to Lofton, it's got to be on first down where you get more honest coverage, I think.
Good point, Johnny. 2nd and 10 now on the Chicago 41. Dickey calling. Inside handoff to Ellis. Gets a big trap hole. Gets down to the 30-yard line. That's Gary Ellis, the free agent picked up a year ago from Missouri, and a good block by Harris.
Yes, there was, and as I mentioned, they got a throw on first down. They threw to Lofton. Actually, that was a first down pass, and the Bears had a revolve to it. Now, as you take a look at Ellis right up the middle, great trap blocking. Gee, big hole up the middle. Otis Wilson slowed him down for a second, but finally it was Lenny Walderscheid who made the tackle, but excellent trap blocking, cross blocking by the Green Bay Packers.
Andre Thompson to the top of your screen. That means that Lofton is to the left. He's going back. Oh, it's a draw play out of the pass looking. Here's Ivory. He gets back to the outside. Now inside the 20 to 15. He dragged down the 2-yard line. A great run by Ivory. And the Packers are coming out smoking.
I think they came to play football, and as we mentioned, they lost 61-7 here in Soldier Field last year, and Bart Starr said it was the most humiliating defeat he had ever had in his participation in pro football. As you look at the blocking there, he just bounced off the blocking. Good play by Darryl Goforth, and I tell you, Eddie Lee Ivory has some great moves there as he really put a move on Terry Schmidt, number 44, to get by him, and it was Walderscheid who had to make the tackle again, and Jim Osborne way downfield, the defensive tackle. The Packers are stoked up.
It looked like Alan Page didn't hold his ground in there, and teams might be running at Allen. He's a great player, but he's only carrying about 224 pounds around. Here's first and goal on the 2. Inside goes Ivory, awfully close to goal line. He's in there. Ellis making the big block for him, the fullback, and the Packers have taken it up from the opening kickoff and jammed it right down the Chicago throat.
Boy, you put it very well. Good block by Leotis Harris, too, as he came out of his position at the guard spot and came across and dumped Walderscheid out. There you can see 69 and behind the black, and he cuts in behind, and there goes Ivory just with some power football into the end zone. There was no way stopping him. They are determined. I tell you, that was a beautiful drive, wasn't it?
It really was. Here's John Stenerud now, the veteran of 14 years in this league. Uh-oh. A missed hand-up by Stockowitz, the young kicker. He's going to try to run it. Oh! The ball was already on the ground, right?
Yes, it was, and it was complete to Rich Wingo, and I don't think the Packers got anybody downfield. What are they calling here? It's good. It is good. Now, a lot of times, because they were blocking for the place kick, you don't have the mistake of a lineman going downfield thinking that it was a running play or something like that, so that's a legal play. Wingo was the wing-back blocker. He gets down the field, a very alert play, and you got to give Stockowitz.
Ray Stockowitz, the rookie out of Michigan State, is the holder. Now, he's the punter. Look at Stenerud.
And there is Wingo, number 50, out in front here. He's going to throw a block, and then he goes downfield. And look at this. Stockowitz, just like a quarterback. He faked the run, then faked the pass, and just dropped the ball over, and it was good. Rich Wingo.
All right, Stenerud, who was the pass protection blocker on the last extra point, will kick off from the 35. The Packers have stunned Chicago, leading 7-0. Here is Dave Williams. Remember him from Thanksgiving Day, number 22. He gets a good hole, gets out to about the 29. The flags are down. Boy, Green Bay not only looks healthy, they look angry.
Well, they got to be. As I mentioned, I don't want to keep harping on it, but when you get beat 61-7, and as you know, Bart Starr ran across the field after that game and had a few words for their coach Neil Armstrong. He was upset about the late blitzes and the pouring it on that he felt the Bears were doing, and he downplays it now, but he was mad.
Personal foul, clipping number 46 on the return team. First down.
46 for the Chicago Bears. That's Doug Plank. And you know he's trying to hit somebody. This time he happened to hit him in the back.
Yes, he's more on the special teams now because he has lost his starting job to Len Walderscheid, and he likes to hit people, so.
Ball's on the 12-yard line. First and 10. Bad field position for Vince Evans in Chicago on their first shot at it in offense. I formation toss to Walter Payton. Gets a good block by Harp on the outside, makes the corner. George Cumby, the linebacker, finally forced him out, but Walter looks like he's pedaling. 4-yard gain for Walter Payton. Vince Evans, Walter Payton, Roland Harper's in at fullback, but you'll see Suey before it's over. Ricky Watts, a big receiver, and of course Brian Baschnagel, very clever. Albrecht, Noah Jackson's back on a week-and-a-half work. Neil Sorey, Dennis Lick, and Big Bob Fisher's the tight end. Second down and 6 on the 16. goes to Harper out to the 20-yard line.
The Packers are into their 3-4 defense. They installed it last year, and they're trying to refine it right now. As you take a look at the defensive line, Michael Butler, Terry Jones, who is the new starter in there at nose tackle, Casey Merrill, who's playing in front of Ezra Johnson right now. There are the 4 linebackers. A lot of guys that were out last year with injuries of one sort or another. And then the defensive backfield, Mark Lee is starting at one of the corners. Maurice Harvey at free safety for Green Bay.
3rd down and 2 on the 20-yard line. Short yardage situation, but the Bears in a regular offense. Here it is to Walter Payton running wide. Jackson gets a block, doesn't hold on to it. Good play by number 24 on defense, Johnny Gray. Tight safety man played off Noah Jackson block and made a heck of a tackle.
And that time they went for the end run on a 3rd down 2 situation, and Payton got his shoulder down there and was able to get that extra yard or 2 before he's hit as Johnny Gray bounced off the tackle, and it's going to be very close for the 1st down.
The first down and a very narrow one. Walter Payton has carried twice now. The strength of that Packer defense is those young linebackers with great range.
Well, as you recall, last year, the first game, the Packers really shut Payton down. 31 carries for 65 yards. He did a lot of in runs, and they shut him down. But then he came back and really romped on him in the second game.
Watches to the bottom of the screen. Bashnagel to the top. The I formation. The fake. Evans' first pass. Right on the money and caught by Ricky Watts.
And boy, was Mark Lee down the field that time, a one-on-one situation, and Watts drove him off by about 10 yards.
Watch Watts now on that replay, John.
Okay, down the field, he's got such great speed, 9.5 speed, and you got to play off him a little bit, but this is a little bit too far. It was like duck soup. If they give him that all day, it's going to be tough sledding for the Green Bay Packers.
He barely got both feet in, but he did. First pass is a first down play by Vince Evans. Close set formation on the 32-yard line. First down. Straight dropbacks, turnout pattern. Completed. Bashnagel steps out of bounds. Gain of 5.
Brian Bashnagel, the bread and butter man. He's very good on the medium range passes, an excellent blocker. However, you're going to see Ken Marjoram playing in this game for Chicago, who happens to be an investment partner of James Luft. And there is Bart Starr on the left with Zeke Bredkowski on the right. Bart Starr, one of the all-time great Packers, and I think this might be a crucial year for him, don't you?
I'd say, and I bet those headphones are hot right now between the box and the field. Okay, 2nd down and 5 on the 37. Ricky Watts is playing to the top of your screen. Inside handoff. Payton cutting back against the grain. Woo! Great play by the linebacker. That's John Anderson.
And you are right, a great play by Anderson because he waited, he held his ground because Payton can slip off and slip and slide, and Payton had ideas of slipping off to the right away from the hole, and Anderson, watch him hit the bottom of your screen here, and he's going to wait outside there just in case Payton dips to the outside and makes the tackle. Good play by John Anderson, and he did not break his arm on that play.
And you know, he's coming back from surgery where they grafted a bone from his hip and his left arm and all, and he's still quite a linebacker.
How would you like to break your arm 3 times?
You got to be tough to come back from it. There's a tough guy. It's Walter Payton on 3rd down and 4 on the 38. Vince Evans, the quarterback. Throw set. Got pretty good pass blocking. Ooh, receiver disappears. Roland Harper looked like he was knocked down by Anderson.
Well, he collided with Anderson, and I think the officials are going to rule it incidental collision between 2 people going for the ball. Roland doesn't think so. Roland does not argue too much. He's a pretty mild-mannered football player, except when he's carrying that ball and blocking on somebody. But the Bears are turning it over, and Green Bay will get it again.
It might have been incidental, but it wasn't accidental, right? All right, Parsons is in to kick now. He had a great year a year ago, averaging 40 yards a kick. And Freddie Nixon, the Oklahoma running back, is back in safety for Green Bay. That's Hilgenberg snapping. Oh, that's a good hang time there. Back to the 8-yard line. That's Nixon, number 84. Pretty good return after just over the 25-yard line. The Packers have the ball 1st and 10. Chicago Bears down on the field. I believe it's Haynes. We'll be back in a moment, though. Don't forget, folks, the U.S. Open Tennis Championships are underway, and the action continues right after this ball game, live from Flushing Meadow, New York. Here's Chris Haynes. Young Notre Dame special team player and a good athlete. Looks like he got a leg injury, John.
Yeah, they were checking the knee out. I hope it is not serious because, as you know, the bugaboo of a professional football player is that knee, that one joint that won't go both ways. He's a tough competitor, been great for the Bears on special teams.
The good Lord never thought that man would be playing football, you know it? All right, 1st and 10. The Packers on the 25-yard line. They scored on the first possession, drove it straight down the field, and here's Dickey back to work. Bears win an over defense. Thompson goes in motion. Here comes Ellis. Ellis caught by the jersey and finally dropped by Hampton and a couple of other Bears. Got out over the 30-yard line. Ellis was the last cut by the Los Angeles Rams a year ago and one of the best pass receivers at the fullback position, I think, in the whole league.
I'll never forget that one he caught against the Steelers last year. Went about 69 yards. I didn't think he could run that fast. Boy, did he take off.
2nd down and 5, call it. Flanker in the slot to the left side, the bottom of the screen. Got a triple flanker left now. There'll be some motion. There goes Thompson. Double wing call. Straight handoff. Ellis. Running straight at Alan Page's hole. Gets out to the 40-yard line.
And that time some good blocking by Darrell Goforth, number 57. He got Lee Kuntz, the middle linebacker of the Bears, and stood him up and helped create that hole right there that the middle linebacker has to fill so often. Good blocking in the interior line by the Packers. They came to play, as you said, Tom.
And Otis Wilson had to come from the offside, the linebacker, to make that tackle. A big gain, and it's 1st down on the 40-yard line. Now they shift out. Kaufman's in the slot. Now Kaufman goes in motion, and Dickey's back. Rolling out to the right. Sideline pattern, and Thompson can't hang on to it. And Terry Schmidt takes him on out of bounds.
I think the Packers still have the right idea. That was a 1st down situation, and they went with the pass, and they had standard coverage that time. As you see, a partial rollout by Dickey, and Terry Schmidt just does a good job up there as the ball was a little bit high, and Schmidt banged him to make sure that he didn't catch the ball.
Now Buddy Ryan's defense has got to gamble once in a while. On 1st down, they must blitz and try to put pressure on Dickey. He is not the most mobile of quarterbacks, but I'll tell you, if you give him time, he can pick your pocket. Pops into the bottom of the screen, and that's Lawson to the top. Still quiet. Ellis on the inside. Good trap block. Gets to the 46.5-yard line. Again, Ellis got right into the linebackers clean. Goforth with the good block.
Yes, Goforth again after Kuntz that time. But they're really straightening up the Bears on that defensive line, and there's not much penetration as the Packers hustle up. They're on the move.
6:39 left in the 1st quarter, and Green Bay's keeping the pressure on. 3rd down and 2. Oh, another wide open is caught from the tight end. There's a flag down. Finally tackled there by number 23. That's Walterscheid making the tackle, but a flag was thrown back into the pass protection area around Dickey.
I think they're going to have holding on the Packers' offensive line as the Bears obviously made a mistake on defense. As you see, watch the middle clear out. Let's see if we can pick up the holding there. They might have called it on Leotis Harris. It's hard to tell. I don't want to blame him until we find out.
I don't know what the motion was out of that backfield, but you don't see a tight end that open anywhere.
Number 79, offense, 3rd down.
That's Conkar, Mark Conkar, the big left tackle, working against Mike Hartenstein. I can understand having to hold him once in a while.
You know, Hartenstein had a real good camp for the Bears, and there's Mark Conkar, who's coming off of some injuries the last couple of years. He has really been plagued.
Had that darn Achilles and got over that. Looks like he's playing pretty well. All right, 3rd down and 13 on the 37. Andre Constant.
We have 3 wide receivers.
Lofton to the bottom. Dickey's going over toward the outside. There's Thompson, catches the ball on the 40-yard line. And Terry Schmidt makes the tackle. Good throw and a great catch by Thompson.
Len Walterscheid was on the coverage, and he slipped down, but watch this. Watch the time that Dickey has. Excellent pass blocking as the Bears try to stunt, and nobody's getting too close. Hartenstein came late, but you could see Walterscheid stumbling there. Andre had a little trouble bringing that ball in, but he got it as Terry Schmidt had to drop off his coverage and make the tackle as the Packers have another 1st down, and that was a 3rd and long situation. That's throwing right into a tough situation.
And Dickey is tall. He's over 6'3". He can see, and if you don't pressure, as John Moore said, you've got a problem. Everybody has one now. Here's a crazy stacked formation. with two flankers to the bottom. Now Thompson goes in motion to slot. This is Ellis, the fullback, ducking back inside. Hartenstein making the stop.
Oh, yeah. He really straightened up Eddie Lee Ivory. Ivory is not as good a blocker as Gary Ellis, but he gave it a try that time. But when you meet somebody like Hartenstein head on, you got to get under and dip under him. And that time he straightened him up, Hartenstein did, and then jammed up the play.
Less than 6 minutes. Ellis was held to a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd down 8 on the 36. And the Packers look like they're running it at Page whenever they really feel like it. Great drop back. Oh, Lofton can't quite hold on to it. He had double coverage. Lofton almost jumped out of the stadium to catch it, but missed it. A pretty good throw, but a little high.
And look at the Packers. Hurry up offense. Hurry up offense. That's trying to get the Bears so that they can't get settled and get their defense ready. Now, he actually was covered by Schmidt pretty good here, but the ball was thrown well, up and high. If he was going to make the reception, that's where it would be. And the ball was there. He could have caught that ball.
All right, 3rd down and 8 on the 36. Big pressure on the first sack by Chicago. That was Hampton, the big Razorback from Arkansas. 99. You get him, he's a load on your back.
And Alan Page was coming from the other side, and Dickey was actually trying to get away from Alan Page, and Hampton kept forcing, and got there and made his first sack of the 1981 season.
Young Stockowitz now, the Michigan State punter, whom the scouts have told me was the best kicker in college football last year. He's a two-step kicker. It's very hard to block it on him. He's quick.
And we found out he's a pretty good passer, too. Didn't
Not bad. He's standing on the 45-yard line. Ami's the snapper. This is low ball. Fisher's going to let it roll. Look out. It's into the end zone for a touchback, and Fisher saved it with a good block. Wow. Every time Stockowitz gets near the ball, something happens. It's 7-0 Green Bay with a little over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the NFL is strictly prohibited. All right, 1st down and 10 on the 20-yard line. Chicago after the sack gets the ball after the touchback. Here's Walter Payton out wide. Jackson's in front. Jackson gets a block, but Walter's pinned from behind. The linebackers are really moving for Green Bay. That was Cumbie. George Cumbie catching Walter from behind.
Let's take a look at a few scores. The Eagles leading the Giants 10-3 in the second quarter. And Atlanta over New Orleans 14-0 at the half. Bum doesn't like that, I don't think.
Both of those scores figure, though, don't they? 2nd down and 6. Walter Payton unable to get all the way outside. He picked up 4 yards. Pittsburgh and Kansas City in a high-scoring game early. 2nd down, 6 on the 24. Evans. Oh, Payton hit as he takes the handoff. Somebody fired from the offside. Number 52, that's Cumbie again, the Oklahoma linebacker. And he's healthy for the first time for Bart Starr.
Yes, he had a couple of knee problems last year, and he shot the gap that time, and Payton didn't even get a chance to get started. Boy, that's punishment you're taking there as you look at Seattle over Cincinnati, 21-3.
Vince Evans must use some play-action passes with Walter and get him off Walter's program right now. They're getting him as soon as he touches the ball. It is suddenly 3rd down and 5 on the 25.
3 wide receivers.
Marjoram is in there, the young rookie from Stanford. Evans blocked that straight back. Sidearm throw. Thrown behind Ricky Watts, but a very dangerous throw as Evans really didn't have time to set down, get those feet down. It was Casey Merrill putting all the heat, the defensive right end.
Let's take a look at a couple of other scores in the NFL on this first game of the season.
Wow.
Miami 13-0 over St. Louis, and Dallas 14-7 over Washington.
Nixon is back to receive this punt. Parsons is standing on about the 10-yard line. Nixon is a very dangerous return man. They're going for the block, don't get it. A good hanging punt by Parsons. Nixon at the 25, fumbles it, picks it up. Now he is full of Bears at the 25.
Well, I didn't see anything but black jerseys coming down the field. What do you think went through Nixon's mind as he fielded that punt? Nowhere to go as the Packers still have the lead, 7-0 over Chicago.
11 yards on 5 carries for Walter Payton. Meanwhile, Ellis and Ivory have 70 yards between them, 34 and 35, actually 69 yards in the first quarter. First and 10 on the 26. The Packers on their own 26 with 3:27 left in the first. Well set. Ellis gets ahead. A fullback cuts back and gets to the 30-yard line. Hampton makes the tackle. Again, Page at 225 pounds is playing right defensive tackle.
Now on that play, it took Hampton to make the tackle. He's from the other side. At the point of attack, there was a hole again. And you're right. They're creating some holes there in the middle of that Bear defensive line.
When holes like that are created, the middle linebacker has to get double indemnity.
That's right.
Second down and 6. Dickey. Looks like he might be changing the play. Here it is from the eye. That's Ivory. Ivory out to the 32. Hit hard by Hampton again, who went under it. Remember, Ivory, his rookie year, ran 3 plays in this game against Chicago, got his knee, and didn't play that whole season.
Now the Bears have taken out 2 linebackers and brought in Al Harris as a pass rusher and an extra back, so they have their pass defensive backfield in there. And there's Alan Page, number 82. He's playing with a pulled groin muscle, which makes it, he depends so much on quickness, and that kind of has got to really hamper Allen.
Third down and 3. Handoff. Ivory gets outside and is really nailed with a tackle, but he's got enough for the first. Walterscheid makes the tackle. Ivory might have gotten to that sidelines and gone down the road.
You're right. Well, a saving tackle by Walterscheid because Ellis made a great block. Watch the lead back, number 31, Gary Ellis. He's going to hit Gary Fencing, 45. He takes him out, and he would have gone. But then here comes flying from the left came Len Walterscheid for a saving tackle or another big yardage play for Green Bay.
Ivory, while not a speed burner, is extremely quick and a good running back. He might have gone on that. It's first and 10 on the 39. The Packers are not fooling. They're a good-looking team. Play action pass. Dickey back, throws it over the top and misses Lofton by a long way. Dickey rushed by, I think, Hampton and Hartenstein. Terry Schmidt defending, but the ball was really high.
And Terry Schmidt, along with Len Walterscheid, see, Lofton is having real problems getting a man-for-man situation. That time, Schmidt could afford to play him that tight because he had Lenny Walterscheid down deep waiting. Terry Schmidt, a man who's quite a bit underrated in the NFL, and he does the job day in and day out. A chemistry expert. He is majored in chemistry. He's going to become a dentist.
Second down and 10. Inside handoff to Ellis, the fullback. Tries to get outside. Notice Wilson has him. Wilson, the #1 draft from a year ago, playing the outside left, was held by Gary Campbell, who came all the way over from the other linebacking spot. Wilson is some physical specimen. The one thing he's got to be careful of is chasing plays that look like they're going too far away and getting an Andre Thompson reverse or an end around.
Well, I'll be curious to see what play Zeke Redkowski wigwagged in from the sidelines.
Doug Plank is in now, 6 defensive backs in. So you're going to see some crazy looking fronts. Maybe the blitz, maybe not. On third down and 10. The stunts are on. Oh, here comes Alan Page, and he has him. Alan Page on the pass rush. They were twisting on defense, and somebody missed Mr. Page.
Well, there is where Alan Page is at his best. Take a look at Twist. He comes to the right. Osborne comes to the middle to jam it up, and he gets through slick and clean, and he can run as fast as Lynn Dickey.
I noticed Osborne made sure that he had 2 blockers that held them together.
That's right. You put your arms out and say, come with me, fellas.
Ray Stokowitz, the young rookie, back to kick, standing on about the 19. And Jeff Fisher, the rookie from SC for the Bears. A beautiful day in Chicago. I mean, absolutely fantastic. A low kick, not a great hang time, and Fisher has a chance to run this one back at the 25 and hit hard, and the flags are falling out there at about the 27.
I have a hunch that the Bears are going to end up with bad field position again because that was probably against Chicago on a clip.
Nick Prather was the one that came down, number 51, another one of those young linebackers that Bart Starr must be cloning somewhere.
They are carrying 8 linebackers. I guess he's a little bit shell-shocked from last year when he had about He had 13 different starters.
27 guys on the injured list in one season. Holding against Chicago as Coach Armstrong in his 4th season. A quiet man, a very honest and fair man. Some don't think he's quite stern enough, but he's honestly straight.
The thing that impresses me most about him is
use of the hands, number 99 on the return team, first down.
That was Dan Hampton, number 99. The thing that impresses me most about Neil Armstrong is you look in the book and get all these statistics, is that when he was in college, he was an end, and he called the plays.
Yeah.
I would love to be an end, a receiver, and call the plays.
You think you'd call your own number a couple of times, huh? The Bears with the ball on the 17-yard line. Chicago has not really had a chance to generate much offense. A pro set. Evans back to pass, a good drop. He hums this one. Baschnagel at the 35, out to the 42-yard line. Brian Baschnagel, that ball was really thrown.
And you talk about patterns. He's a pattern man down the field.
Reese Harvey made that tackle, John. Here you go.
Okay, as you take a look at the play action, always works, even whether if it's to Harper or Payton. And it's just a turn-in about 18 yards deep, and there's nothing that you can do about it unless you get a linebacker or somebody in front of it.
Vince Evans' 3rd completion. This one to Baschnagel. And somewhat rolling the Chicago Bears. Right now it's Green Bay 7, Chicago nothing after 1 quarter. With Johnny Morris at Soldier Field, the Green Bay Packers took the opening kickoff, drove down and got a touch rather easily, and controlled the time of possession, 10 minutes and 25 seconds. The Bears only had it 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the first quarter, but it's first down on the 42 for the Chicago Bears.
High formation.
Walter Payton trying to find some room. Finds 2 linebackers instead right out over the 40. Wingo and Anderson in on the tackle.
Well, 9 times out of 10, when you see that I formation with Payton in that spot, he's going to get the ball one way or another. But in the past, it hasn't hurt him. It hasn't even been regarded as a tip, but it's a good one.
The most imposing stat to me about Walter Payton is that he is starting his 80th consecutive game as a running back. And as you know, in this league, running backs last about a season and a half, and Walter's there every Sunday.
And you realize he only needs 212 yards to pass Jim Taylor, the all-time, for 4th on the all-time list. And Taylor was, you know how many yards he got for Green Bay.
That's right. It's tough today, though, against Green Bay. 2nd down and 9 on the 43-yard line. Back to pass Evans. Overthrows Walter Payton right at midfield. Pretty well covered there by Douglas, the linebacker. Vince looks like he might be hurrying his throws just a little bit.
And that time Payton was well covered. It was probably good that he did throw it high as far as the Bears are concerned. But you see how quickly he gets back. He's got very quick feet. He runs a 4.6 40 and delivers the ball. He can fire the ball. And Ezra Johnson treated him real nice there, didn't he? He did not jolt him. He could have maybe given him a little jolt, but he didn't want to take a chance on a penalty. Plus, he loves all Bears.
Williams is in now, the pass receiving fullback, so to speak, and Walter Payton there in the pro set. Marjoram is down in the slot to the bottom of the screen, right in the middle. Evans back to throw, got time. Looking for Marjoram. Wow, looking for Baschnagel, pardon me, and knocked away by John Anderson, the linebacker.
John Anderson did a great job that time, dropping off in his lineback spot and hit to the zone for the turn-in. That's where he was played, and he was in the right spot. Watch Vince Evans' vision right here as Baschnagel will come across for the same play that they connected on a few minutes ago, and it was the linebacker Anderson who did a great job.
A great play by the linebacker, and got a lot of depth on his drop. Nixon is back to take the punt. Parsons standing on the 28-yard line, his own 28. Remember, he can pass now. Be careful when he's back there punting. Oh, this is a good-looking shot. Nixon's driven back. Calls for the phony fair catch and gets away. And this is going to be inside the 5. If the Bears can get on it, and they do.
Well, the Bears got him in a hole now, and actually Nixon made a mistake there. You're not supposed to field him behind the 10, but when you have so much time as he did, he probably should have taken it and run. Still 7-0.
Control of the ball in that first period, but deep in the, really almost near their own goal line on the 5-yard line after that tremendous punt and down by Heron, punt by Parsons. And here is the offense of the Green Bay Packers. And as Bart Starr said, they are healthy this year, and he has some good quality people on that offensive line of scrimmage.
They're not afraid to throw, Tom, in this kind of a situation. The Packers have not been afraid to throw this exhibition season, even last year.
There's a handoff to Ellis, who starts outside, cuts it back inside, and drives forward to about the 12-yard line. Alan Page makes the tackle, but they are definitely running at number 82.
And do you believe they got 7 yards out of that play? That's a little bit of power football, too.
This is Alan Page's last season, his 15th. The only defensive player ever to be named the most valuable player in the National Football League.
Well, looks like Jimmy Connors has some problems. He is...
Mr. Gomez.
Well, it's 2-2.
That, of course, will be following after this game from Flushing Meadow, New York, the U.S. Tennis Championship. Here's Ivory off the right side to about the 15. It's going to be pretty close. The offensive Packers are firing off the line of scrimmage. Their line is doing a tremendous job. Coons made that tackle. Hampton helped.
This is the 123rd meeting between these teams, and the Bears have won 66 times, the Packers 51 with 5 ties. So it's been a long series and a fairly even series.
And a very bitter series at times, which is really the way football should be played, I suppose. It's 1st and 10 on the 16. Dickey, long calling now. It looks like Ellis left a little early, but he got away with it. The fullback cuts back inside. Page from behind makes the tackle.
Every once in a while, they'll let the back get away with it if he's going sideways, because technically he could be in motion. Let's take a close look at the line play. There's Greg Cook pulling from the opposite side tackle, and Ellis gets jammed up by a host of Chicago Bears. As you look at the ground level, and that ground is hot. Tom, as you said, it's only 65 or 70 degrees, but down there with that artificial surface, it's boiling. It's got to be a lightning fast track.
And a very bad place to be. 2nd down and 5 on the 21. Ivory inside, close to that 1st down. Walderscheid made the tackle. That is not good when the safety men are making tackles all the time.
That's the first bad sign for a defensive team, when the safety man has to make all the tackles. You're correct, Tom. That was a pretty good hole that time, too, as they come into a 1st down situation again.
Dickey has moved the team out. They were on the 5 after Parsons' fantastic hanging punt had him pinned down. Apparently, look at this. He's got a movie. He's been around 11 years, and he's been injured. He's come back, and he is very, very healthy. Lofton still hasn't caught a ball yet. Here he goes across the middle. Otis Wilson was taking care of Kaufman, and the ball went...
Boy, you are
down
correct.
the middle.
Otis Wilson was on him like I don't know what, and it seemed almost even early.
And late.
He got away with one there, I believe.
2nd down and 10. You're lucky. There's Wilson. As we said, a real specimen. At about 230, 232. No waist and big shoulders. These kind of linebackers I always liked.
That's right. Jerry Muckenstern is hurt, and that has pushed Otis Wilson into the starting lineup, and he's taking advantage of it.
Pass play, straight drop back by Dickey. Being chased, trying to get it outside, and wow.
That was Gary Fensick, who is noted for tough tackles, just like Doug Plank is.
That was Atkins was the fullback out of Maryland. He took that rather desperation safety valve cut loose by Dickey. Dickey really wants to go downfield. Things are all covered up. Now he decides, well, I'll just shift a little bit and unload it.
And this is a trying times for a receiver, because you know you got to catch the ball. You know somebody's come flying at you, and he did hang on to the ball, but a tough play, and he earned his pay on that one.
It'll be 3rd and 16 now on the 22. 3rd and a bunch. The Bears have got to get more turnovers than they did a year ago. They were very low in that category. This is a chance. Dickey back. Drops it off to Ivory, who is drilled and stopped by number 25. That's Todd Bell, the rookie from Ohio State.
There was a fumble, but I think they're ruling it down, and the Packers will have it on a 4th down situation.
That's that new rule that's going to be so controversial about quick possession on receptions.
Let's take a look as they do the little twist. Hampton got through there, and here comes Ivory out of the backfield. Todd Bell with the tackle. He's down. He was actually down, and I'd have to agree with the call.
Todd Bell is a typical Ohio State player. He can really rack, and he's going to be a great secondary man. Jeff Fisher, the rookie for the Bears, back to take the kick, and of course Stokowitz is the young kicker. He has not been getting good hang times yet. He didn't get it again. Fisher takes it On the move, over the 50 and almost a fumble. There's a big pile now at about the 47. The Packers think they have the ball. Fisher took it on the dead run.
It is. They're going to give it to the Green Bay Packers. There was such a pile-up of players there, we really couldn't see what happened from our vantage point. We'll get another look at it probably, but anyway, Green Bay, that's just like a completed pass, isn't it?
And your defense has to stay out there on the field a long, long time again. They thought they had been released.
Now, Fisher did the right thing on this. This was a line drive punt, and he took it and just headed straight up the middle and got himself 10 or 12 yards just going straight ahead. That's what you... Boom, he took it on the run.
Right out of Bashnigel's hands.
And let's see if we can get a look at the fumble, when it occurred. I don't know, it's almost impossible to tell there. But anyway, Green Bay's got it.
Harlan Huckabee, the former Michigan All-American, and Charlie Ani is the one that fell on that ball. All right, the Packers got the ball back at 7-0. 9:20 in the second period left. The championship, Connors trailing young Gomez. He's now tied at 3-3 in that final set. But Jimmy Connors right on the verge of being knocked out. Don't forget, following this game live from Flushing Meadow, New York, the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. 1st and 10. The Packers with the ball after that recovered fumble, and they all count. The ball's on the 47. The Bears are coming with the blitz. They might have gone too early. Dickey back to throw. He's going long for Lofton. Lofton and Henderson ran step for step, but the flag was thrown early, and the Bears must have jumped a fraction of a second early.
Maybe it was Jim Osborne, 68. Looked like he might have jumped a little bit too soon. They did have a man-for-man situation that time with Lofton downfield, but there was pressure, and the pass was way short. But we'll have to see if he was considered pulled off sides. That's the judgment of the officials, if maybe one of the offensive linemen made a false move.
Lofton runs the 40 in a legitimate 4.3 and then can long jump 27 feet. He's 6'3". How do you cover somebody like that solo?
Offside, 68, defense, first down.
It was Jim Osborne, and I don't know how you do cover him. He says he's the best in the business.
You put pressure on the quarterback. That's how you cover him.
I guess if you think you're the best in the business, maybe you are. You got to think big.
1st and 5 on the 48. High formation now. Atkins. Here comes Andre Thompson in motion. The ride play to the tailback, Ivory. Out to the 43-yard line. Gary Campbell making the stop, the offside linebacker.
They may have called an audible on that one. The Bears shifted their defense 2 or 3 times there while Dickey was at the line of scrimmage, and he has the authority to call audibles whenever he wants, despite the play being sent in from the sidelines from Zeke with his wig-wag.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, where would you rather be, out on that sailboat or right here working with me?
I hope they're transistorized and they... Oh, I would love to be out there, but not down on the field. In fact, you and I are the first receiver and defensive back that ever got along anyway. This is incredible.
The game's not over yet.
That's right. Inches short, though. Inches short. About the length of a ball. The surprising thing is the running game of the Green Bay Packers. Those big tackles are healthy. Cook and Konkar. Baltimore and New England are really locked in the 3rd period. New England with that 1-point lead.
The Packers are going to have a second and very short yardage, or I should say very short inches.
A good passing situation. If Lynn Dickey is like I think he is. Atkins is the fullback. Ivory is the left halfback. A throw set. Here's the play-action pass. Coming across is James Lofton at the 20-yard line. And nobody gave him any under help. He had the solo coverage. Reuben Henderson, the rookie.
He actually did have solo coverage, but he had Walterscheid down deep. But Walterscheid's so worried about Lofton going deep. You're going to see Walterscheid at the bottom of your picture off the play-action pass. And here comes Lofton across the middle. And there's Walterscheid, who really can't help out on the play on a pass that's that shallow, 20 yards. So
linebacker should have dropped. They must have been thinking pass. It's a first down, whatever, and a good pass play to James Lofton, one of the great premier receivers. On the 20 now, first down.
Look at this, the 2 wide receivers. One's going to go in motion, probably back this way.
That's Thompson. He stays in the slot. Play action. Oh, back to the right side. It's a screen. Trying to screen back to Kaufman to tie it in. And Gary Finsick did the safety blitz extremely well.
Here are some other scores coming up around the NFL. Look at this one. Pittsburgh 19-13 over Kansas City.
Kansas City has that good defense. Philadelphia still having a little trouble with the Giants. Not going to be any cheap roads to Detroit in the Super Bowl. 16 tough games, and then it really gets tough.
Just think, you want to go to the Super Bowl, you can take your wife and go shop in downtown Detroit for the Super Bowl this year.
Get a snowmobile. Second down and 10 on the 20. Back to throw from a pro set. Dickey quickly going for Lofton, who almost has it and drops it. Terry Schmidt in pretty good pursuit of him. Ball just went in and out of Lofton's hands. He doesn't drop too many like that, does he?
No, he doesn't. Let's watch the linebackers. There is Kuntz going off to the other side. You'll see no linebackers here except, and you have the defensive backs, Terry Schmidt short and Len Walterscheid deep, and that's the way they're covering him when he comes across on that middle. Not much linebacker help, because when they double that way, they've got to help usually going to the other side where the other receivers are. If they're having single coverage, they need more linebacker help.
And it's really tough down here from the 20-yard line in, because you can't do a lot of zoning and get away with it. Looks like they're going to gang the line of scrimmage on third down and 10. Basics up there darting back and forth. Here they come. Dickey.
Uh-oh.
Oh, intercepted by Reuben Henderson. Henderson with a 20. If he makes the sidelines, did he stay inside? He's out of bounds on the 32-yard line. Reuben Henderson, the rookie from San Diego State, and I don't see any flags. Lynn Dickey pushed the rookie out of bounds.
Reuben Henderson, who has done so well as a rookie at the cornerback spot out of San Diego State. So many good cornerbacks come out of there as the Bears put a twist on, a little pressure, and here comes number 20 as the pass was thrown a little bit behind, and he almost went all the way. If it hadn't been for Kaufman over there, just to barely knock him out of bounds, the Bears would have had a touchdown as an isolation there as Reuben Henderson waiting for Andre Thompson. Good hands, just like a wide receiver. Turns up the field, and the Bears have stopped the Packers.
What a draft that has been to get Reuben and Todd Bell, both great secondary guys, in one draft the Chicago Bears did. All right, the Bears have the ball. The Packers have the lead 7-0 in the second.
Watch here, Gary Danielson, 39 yards. Billy Sims dashes into the end zone. Now let's send you back to Tom Brookshire and Johnny Morris in Chicago.
All right, we got 7:45 in the second period. Reuben Henderson with the big turnover, the interception. The rookie has given the Bears a chance to get back in this game. They trail 7-0. The Packers are in that 34 defense. Pro set. Vince Evans, the quarterback for Chicago. Walter Payton, who's been held down, finds a hole, gets out over the 40-yard line. Douglas making the stop. Walter looks like he might be warming it up right now. 4.5-yard average every time he's touched the ball. That's his average since 1975. He now has 19 yards on 7 tough carries.
And going for his 6th year of over 1,000 yards rushing. 6th consecutive year.
Strong formation left. That's Ricky Watts to the top of your screen. Inside handoff. Payton cuts it back inside. Gets out over the 45-yard line. Noah Jackson with a good block. Albrecht now has moved out the left tackle when Noah Jackson came back. Each of them has only worked at that position for about a week and a half. Of course, the big Van Horn, the #1 draft, the young man that's waiting, the heir apparent at tackle, may get some action yet today.
Now we have Marjoram at one of the receivers, and Robin Earl is now at the tight end spot.
1st and 10 on the 46.
Ooh. Inside
handoff to Harper, and he loses a yard. That's Douglas, the linebacker. You have to attack out of that 34 defense, and the Packers are doing it extremely well.
Usually on that 3-4 defense, they're having one of the linebackers shoot a gap somewhere, and it's usually Douglas because he's on the weak side. Wingo was in on that play too, the Alabama man.
Van Horn is in. Albrecht is a little bit nicked. The big #1 draft. There's Albrecht leaving now.
Ted Albrecht, the left tackle. That means that Van Horn, the #1 draft choice, will take over at left tackle.
On a passing situation, 2nd down and 11. Williams is in the backfield along with Walter Payton. Here's Vince Evans rolling left, semi-roll, sets up, block. Ball is knocked away by number 63. That's Terry Jones, the nose tackle.
Pretty good pressure by the Packers. They didn't have all that many men rushing, and they put some pressure on that time. Let's take a look. Ezra Johnson's at one of the defensive end spots now. You see a 3-man front. Those 3 will come with no linebackers. The Bears have 5 pass rushers. There's Ezra Johnson, 90 at the bottom of your screen, and here comes Terry Jones. He just forced his way in, and when you can get a pass rush like that out of 3 men, you're playing better football than the other team.
They are coming with it, and Ezra, of course, is the pass-rushing defensive end. A 4-man front this time on 3rd down and 11. Van Horn is in at left tackle. Marjoram is in the slot to the left. Evans is back. He's under a lot of heat, and he's tackled for a loss there. As Casey Merrill came from the right defensive end spot. I don't know if he beat the rookie offensive tackle or not, John.
Well, they switched to a 4-man rush this time, Tom, and we're going to take a look at it as Evans goes back. 4 defensive linemen were in that time, and look at that. Pressure coming on in slow motion. Casey Merrill gets by from the left side. He gets by Keith Van Horn and makes the tackle on Vince Evans, and that's a critical play. As far as the Bears are concerned, they're giving up the ball.
A big sack, and Parsons is standing on the 19, and Nixon is back on about the 24. Hilgenberg, a rookie, is snapping now. Looks like somebody moved on the Bears' offensive line. Here's the kick. It's a good hanging kick. Nixon will fair catch it at the 23. Flag is down. Illegal procedure against Chicago.
Yeah, see, now, what you could do on that case, Nixon, if he's watching the line of scrimmage and saw those people move, you don't fair catch. You take the ball and run because you're liable to get yourself a touchdown.
It's a free when you can't even fumble it, right?
That's right. It's like getting a free popsicle.
First thing you learn in this league is the fair catch. I remember that.
Yeah, you were famous for fair catches.
One of the all-time greats. Against Chicago, Parsons got a good kickoff, so obviously kick again.
Illegal motion, number 85 on the kicking team, 4th down.
Bob Fisher, who's in there to get the coverage. Now Parsons will be standing on the 14-yard line, and Nixon on the 30. A beautiful day for football, but the Packers took that opening drive for 7, and it's been a battle in the pit since then. Here's Parsons. A good kick.
It's returnable.
Nixon at the 30. Gets a good block, has a little bit of room, and now runs into Bears at the 40-yard line. Todd Bell down to make the tackle. All right, with 5:13 left in the second quarter, it's Green Bay 7-0, and the Packers have the ball. Number 1, but don't forget next Sunday, the great NFL action right here on CBS. Yeah, you'll see the Bears against San Francisco, you Chicago people, and the rest of you should check your local listings because the NFL is certainly on CBS, isn't it? Ellis is back in now at fullback along with Ivory. Dickey is going all the way. Here comes that stacked deck. Thompson inside the slot, and the inside handoff to Ivory. He's tripped up quickly there by Lee Coons, the middle linebacker.
There's Zeke Bradkowski. Oh, no, that's Bart there. There's Zeke right there. And he's giving the signals into Lynn Dickey.
Other scores around. Seattle having a little bit more of a problem with Cincinnati. That's at halftime. Detroit hanging on to San Francisco at the half.
Remember that start the Lions got last year?
Right. Miami still giving it to St. Louis in the 3rd period. Back to the action. This is Ivory. Nothing much at all. Coons making another tackle.
Well,
17 to 7,
Cowboys, huh? Yeah. Cowboys up 17-7.
Kansas City, good defense too. If they can score points like that, they can do something. Here it is on 3rd down and 6 on the 43. Dickey throwing long, going for Thompson and overthrowing him. Well covered by Terry Schmidt.
And the Bears really put a blitz on that time. They did not get there, but they kind of forced Dickey just to throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted.
Wilson, I think, blitzed number 55, the linebacker, and Dickey had to pull a pin in that grenade and throw it. Stokowitz now, the rookie, back on his 28-yard line. Fisher will be returning again.
Everything's been a line drive by Stokowitz so far.
And he averaged 46 yards a kick for Michigan State last year. Charlie Ani, young man picked up from Kansas City, will be doing the snapping. And remember, the Packers have had so many woes with place kickers and punters the last year or so. Very vital part of the game. Here's Stokowitz, had to reach for the snap and doesn't get off a good kick. Fisher ought to get away from this one. Bounces on the 20 and out of bounds. The Bears have good field position with over 4 minutes left. 4:04 before the half. A big crowd, not a ticket left for this game. And the crowd is beginning to generate some enthusiasm. There's Neil Armstrong. A glorious day. The offense, though, it has been put to bed by a real good Packer defense so far today out of that 34. Vince Evans, the quarterback. Evans is 3 for 8 for 40 yards. Robin Earl's a tight end. Ricky Watts to the top of your screen. Here's Evans straight back. Outside to Walter Payton. He can't handle it. Is that a lateral or a pass? Be careful of that one. Mike Butler moved out.
It was a pass. Ted Albrecht is back in the lineup replacing Van Horn again, so Albrecht's injury was not that serious. And Payton doesn't drop too many passes, but actually his vision may have been obstructed by Mike Butler. 77 was kind of running right at him, and the ball came shooting out from over the top of his head. It's a little bit...
a 270-pounder. He probably cut off the light. Couldn't see it over there. Butler, the big defensive left end, a #1 draft from Green Bay. There's Vince Evans, as we said, 3 for 9 now. Second down and 10 on his own 23. Marjorum's in the slot. Quick roll right. Evans, a great throw to Walter Payton with a hit fumble. It may be a fumble. Looks like Chicago got down on the 25. Walter Payton was really hit. The linebacker jarred it loose.
Yeah, it was Anderson who I think jolted the ball loose as you take Payton over the middle. And Jack Pardee, when he was coach of the Bears, didn't like Payton catching these kind of passes. He didn't want him coming across the middle like that and be exposed to hits like that. As you see, the ball was jolted loose and the Bears recovered. But anytime you put Payton in that kind of position, he's got to worry about the ball and not protecting himself.
Reevy Sorey made the recovery. The guard was right on the spot. Third down and 8 on the 25. Everybody's thinking pass. Marjorum's in the slot to the left.
4-man rush.
Evans back. Bean rushed and throws it down into the ground. A big blitz that time. Terry Jones, the nose tackle, put pressure on 2.
The Packers had gone into the 4-man rush, 4 defensive linemen, and they are putting good pressure, and they really haven't done all that much. Most of their blitzes during the exhibition season were with help from linebackers blitzing, but today they've done it on their own, the linemen. So you got to give that defensive line credit as Vince Evans goes off the field.
Looks like he's having trouble reading a little bit too. He looks like he really is looking to one receiver. All right, Nixon is the deepest receiver down there at the 35. Parsons punting. Ooh, they come for a block, don't get it, and Parsons really rides one. With a flag down, they might have roughed the punter. They hit Parsons. Here comes Nixon back out to the 39-yard line, but they knock Parsons down, and the Bears are going to have an automatic first down.
Well, he should get an Academy Award, Emmy, or something for that one. He was hit by the 2 Packers, but obviously he took advantage of it because they had really stopped their momentum, but they're not supposed to hit him. Now, here they are.
Randy Scott.
So, I don't know. You be the judge. That's a kind of a nice ballet move, wasn't it, on the way down?
I think Parsons went to Joe Paterno's theatrical school back at Penn State. That wasn't a bad job. It's an automatic first. The Packers, though, have been really taking it to the Bears physically. This one was a mistake, but it was also action. First and 10 on the 30. Evans back out there now. He's probably checked with Marcia Broad on the sidelines, and he's calling his own plays, remember. Trailing 7-0 with 2:58 left in the first half. Handoff to Walter Payton, straight ahead. Not much, out to the 33. Mike Butler stood up, the defensive left end.
The Bear fans are starting to get a little bit antsy. They're expressing some disapproval of running the ball into the line. I don't know, it might be a little bit early for that because Payton could break one any time.
The Bears were the only NFL team that ran more than it passed last year. And that was supposed to be changed during preseason, but when you have a Walter Payton, you've got to figure he's got to carry the ball 20 times or you're not going to be in it. Second down and 6 now. Walter picked up 4.
Now, Ricky Watts has a lot of room down here at this side at the bottom of your screen.
handoff to Harper, who's trying to get outside. Use the stiff arm, it does. And looks like he has the first down at the 40-yard line. Good play by Roland Harvey as Maurice Harvey made the stop. Harper hasn't fumbled now in 18 games.
He doesn't fumble too much, and he has a good straight arm, as you'll see, as he gives it to Douglas here. You're going to see number 53, Douglas, come up, and he gives him a straight arm, just pushes him right on down. And finally, Harvey comes over and dipped under the straight arm and makes a nice tackle, but not before they got within about a half a yard of a first down.
It's short yardage time. He did not make the first down. We'll be back with that in a moment. The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. 2 minutes. The Bears have not gotten on the scoreboard, and they've got inches to go, and 3 tight ends in the game on short yardage. And I mean inches to go on the 39.5. Matsui's in at fullback. Green Bay almost off. Oh, Sui breaks out and gets to the 35-yard line on short yardage. Good second effort by the third-year man out of Penn State. John Anderson had to tackle him, and it was not easy.
Well, that happens once in a while in this short yardage. If you just pop it, there's a key block by Payton as he kicked McCoy out, and then Stewie maintained his balance and takes a big, long run with a few people on his back. Mark Lee, that's not a classic tackle, but at least they got him down. Where did he learn to tackle, huh?
Stewie has deceptive speed, Johnny, at least in a 20 or 30-yard sprint. He's a very quick, low-slung 215-pounder.
I think he's the all-time second leading rusher out of Penn State. Did you mention that? Is that where I learned it?
That's true, though. A good time to insert the fullback on that short yardage. Now, Evans went over and conferred with Marcia Broda and Dick Stanfill and, of course, the head coach. Payton is in there. Suey is still in there. 1:49 left. And 2 timeouts left for Chicago.
So there's plenty of time with the timeouts. I mean, they'll have plenty of time to do what they want in this drive.
You've got to also keep in mind that Bob Thomas, the kicker, had a slightly pulled kicking leg and might not have range, beyond 30, 35 yards, so they've got to get close.
He hasn't kicked for a couple of weeks. He didn't kick because Hans Nielsen was there and when he had his injury, and so his first field goal will be the first one in a long time.
First and 10 play was fumbled by Vince Evans on the scramble. And Green Bay's come up with the football. Mike Douglas.
And John Anderson, I believe, made the recovery as Vince Evans went back in the pocket, could not find a receiver, and then decided that he was going to run. There's Noah Jackson and Ezra Johnson in a real battle. Jackson does a good job. Now, here he was going to look to run, and then he takes off, but Mike Douglas coming from the other side, hitting from behind. There goes the ball up for grabs, and John Anderson makes the recovery for Green Bay. Heads-up play by John Anderson as he kind of got a hold of Matt Suey and said, I'm going to get that ball first, and he got it.
Good hustling defensive play by Green Bay. Dickey now with first and 10 on the 43. 1:38 left in the half. There's Ellis dancing around. Boy, he's a smooth running fullback. Oh, gets to the 40-yard line. What a run by the fullback. Hartenstein had to make the tackle. And here's the hurry-up offense. 1:23 on the clock. Dickey and Green Bay taking advantage of that fumble by Vince Evans. Dickey calling a play out on the line of scrimmage. It's an audible. Drop back pass by
Here
Dickey.
they come.
And he misread Kaufman's break. And the closest person to the ball was Bensick. That's a waste pitch. And stops the clock at 1:07.
The Bears put the all-out blitz on, and if the Packers have been watching the game films, as I'm sure they have, they know that the Bears in these kinds of situations would rather take their chances and put all kinds of people on the quarterback than drop off and try and cover. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it 2 or 3 more times in this scrimmage. And, of course, Lynn Dickey knows that, so we'll see how you counter that.
Don't forget at halftime, Brent Musburger back at NFL Today will bring you up on all the other NFL games. That'll be at halftime, which is only a little over a minute away. Second down and 10. Dickey straight back now. He's not play bad. There's Lofton in the middle at the 27. Gets away from the tackler, and Walderscheid finally gets him at the 22. James Lofton cutting under, coming across. They said he wouldn't catch that ball. He'll catch it in traffic. Timeout is called.
Okay, they did not put the blitz on. You see 57, Lee Kuntz is going to drop off, and Loughman's going to come shooting right across your screen here and catches it on the run. Walter Scheid on the chase. Gary Fensick, 45. Finally, it's Walter Scheid who knocks him out of bounds, and James Lofton does it again.
Second catch by James Lofton. Dickey now talking to one of the great old quarterbacks himself, Zeke Bartkowski. Zeke sends the quarterback back out to do his own do here. They tell you how to get it, don't they?
I think this is the most interesting time in football to me, is the last minute before the half or the last minute before a game, because there's so much brain work going on. Things that have all week you've been practicing on these situations, and you try and make a tendency of what the defense will do when you've got, 20 yards to go. You only have so much time. Will the Bears come all out after him? Will he try and look for the tip, as those safety men will get up many times right up in the line of scrimmage to fake the blitz and drop off, and Dickey has got to be able to adjust and see if he can take advantage of it.
A tough time to play defense, too. That's on the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. 55 seconds left and 2 timeouts still for Green Bay. Straight drop back pass, kept Ellis the fullback in, looking across the middle, intercepted. There's a flag down. Intercepted by Walter Scheid. Back out over the 25 to the 30 and tackle at the 33-yard line. That's Ivory, the halfback, making the tackle. The flag is back on about the 14.
Now they're calling somebody either pass offensive interference or defensive interference downfield. Usually on this kind of a call, it'll go against the defense.
Might be holding on defense. And that's an automatic first on about the 12 or 13, wherever they spot it. A good play by Walter Scheid, who has played extremely well today. Tackle after tackle, and that looked like a big INT.
And the reason that he's in the lineup instead of Doug Plank is because he usually bags more interceptions. He seemed to have a better feel of the field and watching the quarterback, where Plank is a more vicious tackle.
Number 55 on the defense.
Otis Wilson, number 55, the linebacker, grabbed a hold of Kaufman perhaps when he was trying to clear the line of scrimmage. It's a first down.
Boy, you talk about a critical penalty.
1st and 10 on the 17. Boy, Green Bay is a fired-up team, and they're healthy this year. Bart Starr's done some job. The stack receivers out to the top. That's Thompson that may go in motion. Here he comes. He stays in the slot. Oh, Dickey stumbles, still gets it out to Ivory in the flat. Makes a good cut and gets inside the 10-yard line. Hampton had to make the tackle from defensive end. Coons had a pretty good shot at him early, but Ivory made him miss.
Well, they went with the screen away from all the people over here to the weak side, and you're going to see Leotis get out there. And he does a good job. Leotis Harris, as Kuntz misses the tackle, and finally the pursuit from behind takes him down as Dan Hampton got in on that tackle.
I tell you, Bratkowski came up with a pretty good call. That was an excellent call. As you said, in a pressurized situation, that slip screen right is tough.
All right, and it was away from the action. They had both receivers up at the other end of the field, and they tried to do it. As now the brainstorms go again. Lynn Dickey, 6 of 16 for 104 yards. Now, they're looking at the short list there. See, they're looking at their situations. They've looked at films all week, and they say, look, when we're into a 2nd and 2 or 3, let's see what we've got to choose from. Now, remember, the Bears, say 16 times prior this exhibition seasons on 2nd and 3 have given us this kind of a defense 40% of the time, this kind of a defense 20%. Let's go with the percentage, and let's do this or what? Something along that line.
Armstrong now is thinking, how do we perhaps stop them and make them settle for a field goal tried by Snenerud? How far will the Packers go before they tee it up and take the next 3 points and lead by 10-0?
That's right. See, they have a 2nd and 2nd and 3 with 33 seconds left to go.
And 2 timeouts.
So do you go for the air for a couple of times and go for the touchdown and then try the field goal, or do you try and punch for the first? I'd go for the air.
I think Dickey will. He's afraid of absolutely nothing. There's your time, 33 seconds. The handoff to Ivory cuts back inside, gets inside the 5. Good blocking out in front. Konkar, the big left tackle, moved it off the line of scrimmage. Walterscheid making the tackle. Hampton having to help again. It's first down and goal to go with 13 seconds left. Now the fake pass, the draw. It's going to be a touchdown by Ellis. Great ball handling by Lynn Dickey. Dickey made it look pass and slipped it off to Ellis. Ellis is one of the smoothest running big men you'll see. He is really a good-looking ball carrier.
That was a tremendous play under the circumstances to run a draw down there. Let's take a look at it as you're going to watch the interior line blocking. Coons comes right up the middle and missed the tackle. Number 57, the middle linebacker, got caught inside. There's Walterscheid leaping, and then the stretch out there by Ellis, and he got the ball over the hump. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Gary Ellis with 72 yards on 11 carries has been outstanding. Stenerud now with Stakowitz holding the young kicker, and this one is blocked. Somebody came over the top and really swatted the ball. A 13-0 lead. I don't see any flags with 5 seconds left. The Bears will get the kickoff and perhaps take it in the end zone if they were lucky and get off about 1 or 2 plays. Stenerud kicked that one rather low.
Yes, he does. He doesn't get too many blocked. He's a man who scored 1,243 points in his career. A real pressure player. And let's just see whether his blocking broke down.
And this could be a very large blocked extra point.
Now, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, it very likely could be.
Otis Wilson, number 55. Bill Friel, my man, tells me might have been the one that got the big paw on that ball and slapped it away. Now the kick from the 35. Stenerud will tee it up.
He is the oldest player on the football field. Alan Page is second oldest. Stenerud is 37 years old. Was picked up as a free agent by Green Bay last year. Kicked 1 field goal during the exhibition season, 53 yards. 1 for 1. That's not bad.
That's not a bad one. Good average. Davey Williams is back on the goal line. It's a low kick, trying to get the Bears to play it so the half will be over. Taken by Fisher, who's pulled out on the 34-yard line, and that's going to be it. That's the end of the first half. The Packers with a 13-0 lead over Chicago Bears right here in the Windy City. Now it's picking up a little bit here at Soldier Field. He'll kick off. That's Williams deep on the goal line. Baschnagel and Fisher on either side. It'll be Williams 2 yards deep in the end zone. For Chicago. Gets a good block. Breaks to the outside. Being chased to the sidelines. Has it made and just run out about the 43-yard line. I believe Mark Lee, the defensive back, number 22, is the one that forced Davey Williams out of bounds. A good kickoff return for Chicago, and the crowd comes to life. Here's some stats now. And, oh, pardon me, here's the lineup. Vince Evans will be at quarterback. He did not have a great first half. He was 4 of 10 for 42 yards. Walter Payton, who did very little running, he had 29 yards on 9 carries, and there's the offensive line, the tight ends, Bob Fisher. A 42-yard kickoff return by Williams. First down from the 41. Here's Payton, gets outside. He's knocked out of bounds by the linebacker. Mike Douglas caught him by a foot in Green Bay territory at the 43. Payton has come out running.
And they had good blocking out front. You're going to see Reeve Sori and Noah Jackson, 65. Both guards cleared the line and were out there to throw their blocks. And there's the block. Oh, boy, Reeve Sori. Did he lay into Mark Lee? And Payton turned up the field. And finally, it was George Cumbie who knocked him out of bounds.
Whatever Neil Armstrong said at halftime should be put in marble. The Bears are coming out and they're firing now. A handoff to Suey. Suey cuts back inside, breaks the tackle, and gets to the 35-yard line. Wingo finally makes the tackle, and Butler had to help on it.
Well, Suey starting the second half in favor of Roland Harper, and he made a nice move here. I think it was George Cumbie who had blocked him off here, and he just did a dip to the inside. As you can see, Payton is the lead blocker there. He takes Douglas, and then right there, he gets inside Cumbie and Michael Douglas before he's finally knocked down by Rich Wingo.
Albrecht got a good block at left tackle to clear it. First and 10 on the Green Bay 35. The Bears look like they mean business. Here's the sprint out to the right by Evans. He's coming back. He's got the ball. Breaks one tackle, and now it's hit at the 27-yard line. Good call. Quick sprint out and dropped it to his fullback. Douglas made the tackle.
Well, Vince Evans is always a threat to run when he does sprint out that time, and you're going to see Suey, number 26, is right there in the bottom, right in the middle of the screen right now, just faking a block, and then he waits. A planned play. That was not a secondary receiver. That was a planned play, and Suey is showing some real signs of being a good football player. He hadn't played that much.
And he's sort of short. He can hide, like you say, and get out there. Evans on 2nd down and 4 now on the 29-yard line. Flankers left to the bottom of your screen. Here's the handoff to Walter Payton running left behind Noah Jackson. Walter Payton breaks one, fumbles the football. It's picked up by Maurice Harvey, and Green Bay has another fumble recovery.
Well, Walter Payton does not fumble too much. There's a penalty flag down on the field, but it's against the Chicago Bears. Will be declined by Green Bay as Maurice Harvey picked up that ball on a key play for the Packers, because to stop and stunt this drive, as you notice, the guards, everybody's pulling, and it's another well set up play. When you can get those guards around the horn, you got blockers in front of you. And then here is Payton carrying it and takes the leap, and it was George Cumbie who knocked the ball out, and Maurice Harvey who recovered on a key play for the Packers.
Walter Payton has got to put the ball away. He carried that in the right arm, running to the left, and he just got hit on that elbow.
Well, they've been telling him that there's always a rule that when you're going to get hit from the sides you're going to get hit on, you put the ball to the other side, but he's such a great runner and has never fumbled, and he violates all those rules, and it's hard for the coach to say, hey, don't do it that way, you know?
I agree. 1st and 10 for Green Bay on the 21. The drive to Ivory. Chicago defense, a bunch of them in on this tackle, and a lot of heated words on the line of scrimmage. Gary Campbell might have been first there. Hartenstein in on that too. Here's that Green Bay offense. Alan Page is coming out. Brad Shearer is going in, the big Texan. Here's the offense. Dickey at quarterback. Ivory, Ellis, Lofton, and Andre Thompson. There's the offensive line, and Paul Kaufman's your tight end. Good defense. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 on the 23. Dickey inside handoff to Ellis. Ellis steps through a big hole. There's a flag thrown down, and Ellis is still dragging people almost to midfield. Gary Finsick took a ride.
Oh, a little extracurricular activity between Mike Hartenstein and James Lofton. That's a mismatch. Lofton better watch out. But the penalty is against the Green Bay Packers, and you're right, it was an excellent play.
Boy, Ellis is a good runner for a 222-pounder.
Boy, I tell you, he breaks the tackle by Schmidt, and then he carries Gary Finsick literally down the field, and then you're going to see the extra activity there. Right there, you can just see the legs. But anyway, it's all for naught anyway, because it's going to be called back.
You wouldn't sell any tickets to see Hartenstein fight Lofton.
Holding, number 89, offense, 2nd down.
Wide receiver is never supposed to hold Andre.
Receivers never do those things, do they?
Well, they usually don't block, so how can they hold?
2nd down and 12. The ball on the 19. Spoken like a true receiver. Alan Page is back in at defensive right tackle for Chicago. Dickey on 2nd and long. Ivory and Ellis behind it. Here's a drop back pass. Fakes the draw. Going to Lofton, who takes it on the 35.
What a terrific play.
What a throw by Dickey right over the top.
That's right, because he was under pressure from Dan Hampton, and Lofton just went straight down the field, and you're going to see by the time he makes his move, the ball is halfway there. He's going to turn around, go to his knees, and the ball was already halfway there. And there was nothing that Terry Schmidt could do about it. Good play, nice timing. That's what you call precision passing.
Thrown early and caught very well by a splendid receiver. Lofton is now to the top of your screen. Andre Thompson to the bottom. Lofton is scary. Dickey now checking with his backs. 3rd quarter action, 1st and 10 on the 35, and they've got the lead. Drive handoff to the fullback. Ellis fumbles the ball. And Finsick comes up with it in the middle of there and has it on the 39-yard line. Looks like Chicago has possession.
Well, it was a good play for Green Bay. They had a nice hold, but the ball was just popped loose, and it is now Chicago's ball.
The Yaley came up with it. I don't know how Finsick got in there, John.
Good block by Leotis Harris, and the McCarron blocked down very well. He's there with just knocked out of his hand. I couldn't see who grabbed it there, but then you're going to see the recovery. It is Chicago's ball on the Packer 39.
Career recovery of a fumble by Finsick has the Bears with the ball on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. And will they go up top? Will young Evans throw it on the first play?
Yes.
He sure is. Looking for Ricky Watts. Now changes, going for Watts deep. Almost caught in the end zone. The ball was thrown about 48 yards right on the line, and Watts couldn't hang on to it. McCoy was there.
He's claiming interference. Ricky Watts is he was going for Brian Baschnagel first, and then Watts was on the other side. He just takes off upfield and then turns it on, and Evans put it there straight up the field. McCoy, there is contact right before, but it looked like Watts had made his dive for the ball. Right there, I don't know. That's a tough call.
That's pretty good defensive play and a great effort by Watts. Ricky Watts gave it an all-out effort. Second down and 10, and the tempo is sky high. Soldier Field is alive. The I formation. Second down and 10 now from the 40. The toss to Walter Payton. He dances through the hole, cuts back, runs into the linebackers and gets to the 31-yard line. John Anderson took a little bit of a ride, and Walter is some kind of a load when you try to tackle him high.
Well, you're always better off, in my opinion, to run Walter from the I formation. Let him get the ball. He doesn't have to. He's already heading for the line of scrimmage. He can pick his way, look for the blocks. Good block by Dan Neal. Boy, he's got Wingo all the way down the field. And finally, they bring Payton down, so we have a critical 3rd down and 3.5 situation.
Payton now with 53 yards rushing on 12 carries. The man with the iron legs. Evans to David Williams. Looks like he has the first. Straight ahead. Nothing fancy about that. Cumbie made the stop. Robin Earl comes into the game, and the crowd beginning to applaud and get at it.
Well, the Bears are in the same situation they were a couple of minutes ago. They can't afford a mistake. They had the mistake last time on the fumble. But if they make another mistake and lose possession here, it's going to be very devastating to them. It's San Francisco and Detroit 17 off in the 4th quarter. Miami handling St. Louis 20-7.
1st and 10 on the 28. Evans to Suey, the fullback. He stumbles and falls, and he's been drilled on the 30-yard line. Douglas in there. Terry Jones, the nose tackle, also got in.
Dallas 23-10 over Washington in the 4th quarter. It looks like Tom Landry's team is off to another good start. Philadelphia finally busted loose from the Giants 24-3 late in the game. And Baltimore 29-21 over New England, and you got to figure the Bears are going to throw the ball. The Packers have been making basic rushes. It looks like they're not going to blitz much.
Williams is in the game along with Payton. Ricky Watts is split to the left side of your screen. Evans is back quickly. Going across the middle. He's got Walter Payton at the 20-yard line inside the 20 to the 17. George Cumbie making the tackle. And Anderson. Some pass receiver, some football player, about as complete as one as you'll ever see in your lifetime.
And some pass blocking as you bring Payton across the middle. I'd hate to be chasing him across the middle, as Cumbie, actually under the circumstances, does a pretty good job of getting down and making the tackle. Now you're going to see it's what you call a sky or circle pattern. Out of the backfield, put a little deke in here, and then boom, right across the field. And there he goes, crazy legs. And he's got a step. You give him a step, you're in trouble.
Vince Evans beginning to get the hot hand. It's a 1st down on the 19. Uh-oh. 3rd down on the 19. Excuse me, 3rd and 1. Flags are everywhere.
It's going to be 3rd and 6 now because the left side of the Bear offensive line moved too soon. It was either Cobb or Albrecht.
Let's check it out, John.
Okay, look at the left side of the Bear offensive line. You're going to see somebody move too soon there, and I think it was
Albrecht.
Ted Albrecht, number 64.
See if you can pick it up on the telestrator there, John.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Right there, that man.
You got it. Slot formation left now. Marjorie's in the game. The rookie from Stanford. Vince Evans on 2nd down and 6 on the 24 now. Straight drop back. Evans looking to the right side. He has Walter Payton at the 15-yard line. Mark Douglas couldn't make the coverage that time.
Okay, here comes Peyton out of the backfield. How would you like to have to cover him? He's coming to the weak side, so that's where Douglas usually is. He's the number 53, the defender, and you just got to give him a yard or two. You can't let him take a chance that he'd go by you, and finally he is knocked out of bounds, but there was nobody else in the picture.
Vince Evans now beginning to pick up the smaller patterns, the slower patterns, and he looks like he's much more confident, and Peyton is hot. 1st and 10 on the 16. The Bears have been held scoreless. Great drop back by Vince Evans. A big blitz on it. He's going to run with the football to the left. Now he throws on the run. It is knocked away from Marjoram in the end zone. From Baschnagel. Brian Baschnagel had a chance, and it was knocked away in the end zone. Mike McCoy defended.
Okay, pressure from the Packers. Vince saw his men cover here and decided he was going to run as Michael Douglas put the blitz on him, and then he takes off, starts to run, and then he spotted Baschnagel, and look at, he has to turn his body and throw kind of sidearm, and he put the ball on the dime there pretty good under the circumstances, but the Packers were there to make the save. This football game is getting exciting.
Boy, he's a Western gunslinger. He fired that from the hip. 2nd down and 10 on the 16. Evans, they're the numbers, 7 for 16 for 68, but no touchdowns yet.
High formation.
Looked like the pass is out to Ricky Watts, who drops it. It looked like Ezra Johnson might have been offsides.
I think he was. He moved a little bit too soon as Ricky Watts committed the cardinal sin for a wide receiver. There you see Johnson coming across the line of scrimmage right there too soon. Watts wanted to run before he got the ball because he figured he was going to make that little move and get by McCoy, and he couldn't get control of the ball. Could be a key play because...
Offside, defense, number 98, 2nd down.
2nd down and 5. The Bears maintaining the ball, but still have not broken the line, have not scored against Barksdale Packers this afternoon. Ricky Watts is to the left, to the bottom of the screen. Vince Evans. A handoff to Walter Payton. Story's out in front with Jackson. Payton, still on his feet, scores a touchdown standing up. He had to make 3 people miss. Walter Payton.
He is so strong. What a run. The play was set up beautifully by the line, though, because the guards were able to get out and get in front. 65 and 69. There's Reeve Sorey and Noah Jackson. Boy, when you got help like that, and then you watch the shoulder that Peyton will put on Maurice Harvey, number 23, right there, and just goes into the end zone and puts it in, high steps it. Walter Payton, touchdown, Chicago. I love the way that head goes down before he starts to run with the ball, but he has a convoy in front of him, and then he does the last right here on his own. Just terrific balance, a spin. What a ballet dancer he'd be.
And think about that blocked extra point, Johnny Morris.
Yes.
This is Bob Thomas now. That's Baschnagel holding. The flags are down. There's a flag down. The point is good, but there is a flag on the field.
One of the Packers moved, but then an offensive lineman of the Bears moved. Now, if that Packer was getting back on sides, then they would call it against the Bears as an illegal procedure.
Unless the Packer made contact.
Right. You got it.
A big extra point. Remember, Stenerud's just before the halftime was blocked by Otis Wilson. And the Bears look like they've found that offense.
They're going to call it a no call, I believe.
Bob McElwee is the referee in charge.
No, it's going against the Bears.
Against the Bears.
Illegal motion, number 70.
Dennis Lick from St. Rita High School in Chicago.
The Bears with 7 penalties now for 47 yards. Thomas now will try this extra point from about the 14-yard line. Baschnagel's holding.
It's no good.
It's no good. He had the pulled muscle in the right leg. And that is a chip shot, but it was missed. Taken at the 16 by Nixon. And down there at the 24-yard line, 22-yard line make that. A short kick by Thomas. And the crowd did do a little booing when he came off after missing the extra point.
Tom, wouldn't you agree that this might be the most important drive for the Packers in the football game?
Yeah, they got to get the momentum back. It looks like perhaps they lost a little bit because the Bears just sort of took it and stuffed them and went down and got the Walter Payton touchdown. Dickey now back in control with not bad field position, but not the greatest. On the 27, they call it. 1st and 10. Packers have been sort of quiet on offense in this third period. Handoff to Ellis. Ellis does a little stutter step and gets out to the 32. Coombs, the middle linebacker, making the tackle. Pittsburgh hanging back, coming back, and leads Kansas City in the 4th period now by 3.
A lot of scoring for the first game of the year in some of these games. Dallas 26-10 over Washington.
And they said the Cowboys had no secondary, eh?
There's Philadelphia 24-10.
Baltimore, New England by a point late. Here's Ivory on 2nd down and 5. Walterscheid made that tackle. And Atlanta pouring it on to beat New Orleans 27-0.
It looks like Ivory might have hurt his knee on that play. Now that's unfortunate. He hurt his knee here in Chicago a couple of years ago on the 1st or 2nd play of the game, but he went down and they are inspecting the knee. Let's hope that it's not serious as we take a timeout. Green Bay ahead 13-6.
The Packers are pretty deep and good running backs. 1st down and 10 out on the 38. Ivory got the 1st down. And in motion is Kaufman. Drop back pass. Outside to Lofton, and Dickey threw it clear into the Green Bay bench.
Well, he was having a good day. 14 carries for 72 yards, and they're going to miss him the rest of this football game. And still getting that knee checked out. You know,
just make sure the knee isn't really injured. That's why we're hoping.
You know, Dickey had Lofton wide open that time. He wasn't covered that closely.
Dickey just forced that throw. That's about the first one. It looks like he's just thrown. Formation is left now. 2nd down and 10 on the 38. Man in motion is Thompson. The reverse. Here's a reverse to Thompson all the way back. Waiting for on the outside. 59 makes a great tackle over there. That's Gary Campbell, the weak side linebacker. Wasn't fooled a bit.
Well, Gary Campbell had Lynn Dickey blocking on him, and actually the play opened up, but they got into a situation where the only man that was able to throw a block to make the difference in this game was Lynn Dickey, and he tried, but he just wasn't up to it. He did it last week, did a good job. Boy, I'll tell you, Jim Osborne was right there on that play. Now, you're going to see Lynn Dickey out in front, and he tries, he throws, but he's not that practiced in blocking. Right there, he's on the ground already, and Campbell plays off the block and makes the tackle.
A gain of 2, 3rd down now, and 8 to go on the 40-yard line. Blitz drop back. Blitz is on. You got time, and it's knocked away beautifully. Terry Schmidt makes a great defensive play. That's Freddie Nixon who had run the deep sideline. Boy, Schmidt makes a good play.
He does it time and time again. They think they can pick on him. As you see the blitz right up the middle, Todd Bell is picked up beautifully by Ellis. And here it comes. Schmidt just reacts off the deep out pattern, comes up and gets there just in time to knock the ball away. Big play because Chicago now has a chance to get the ball again and maybe go for another touchdown. So the Packers are going to have to tighten their belt.
There's Jeff Fisher back. He's a rookie. And here's the other rookie, Stakowicz. He has not gotten a great kick yet today. It's a pretty good hanger this time. Fisher on the 13-yard line. He's got a little bit of running room. Jeff Fisher moves inside and gets it out over the 40. Boy, that gives the offense a real lift when your punt return man brings it out over the 40-yard line. Chicago's fired up. And, of course, we're in Chicago. Packers still lead 13. There's Bart Starr. Boy, he's coming back his 7th year. A couple of years ago, they almost got there. Here's a young man that's coming in. He's 24-24 entering his 4th season. That's Neil Armstrong. And the Bears have the ball on their own 43, 1st and 10. Quick,
okay.
Sprint right and knocked away by the linebacker. I believe it was Cumbie.
Good action by the linebackers, Tom. You're right. I think it was Cumbie that was going to his drop back zone, and Watts actually had an open spot on Mark Lee. He had the inside position, and it takes those linebackers to bust up those plays. The Bears went for the pass on first down.
Vince Evans calling his own plays, and here are his stats. Improving a little bit here in the third period. He had a pretty tough first half. 7 for 17 for 68. Second down 10 on the 43.
Oh, look at the Packers moving around.
Now they drop off. They blitz one linebacker. Evans going for Watts, and he's knocked away. Mike McCoy knocked the ball away.
And Maurice Harvey was downfield as the second man on coverage, and he was in the exact right spot where he should be. Help out that cornerback and come over and make the save as Ricky Watts was denied a completion.
Ricky Watts is a strong guy. He's over 200 pounds, and he got up slowly.
Pretty good pass blocking by the interior of the Bears line, and here comes the pass. You see Harvey, 23, coming over because Watts has got a step on McCoy, but Harvey just came over and annihilated the ball and Watts.
McCoy got a hand on it, too. Darn good pass coverage for Green Bay. Harvey, third down and 10.
Yeah, Harvey was at Denver last year, and he's filled in now. They needed a safety.
A four-man rush for Green Bay. They're thinking pass. Oh, fake to Walter Payton. Drops it off to Fisher, and Fisher can't handle it. McCoy right there in the tight end's face.
Well, that's the first pass the Bears have thrown to the tight end today, and they only threw one last week.
The theory being the fake to Walter Payton should have held somebody, but those linebackers are very agile for Green Bay. There's Walter. He got his 71st touchdown on that run earlier.
8,300 and some yards in 6 years. He's 13 for 64 today, one touchdown.
Parsons' fifth punt, John, of the afternoon. He's standing on the 27-yard line, 28. And Nixon is waiting. This is a tremendous hang time. Got to be 4.5 seconds on this one. Nixon takes it at the 20, and that's all. Baschnagel down to make the tackle. The Packers have the ball and the lead here in the third period. It's 13-6. Okay, we got the stacked receivers out to the top of your screen now. First down and 10 on the 20. Thompson in motion, stays in the slot. Dickey going outside and up the sidelines for Lofton, who catches it out of bounds on Reuben Henderson. It doesn't count if you catch it out on that white carpet.
No, it doesn't, and you could see this was first down. They were double covering again. See, he had a man deep to help him. Henderson did, as Walderscheid, I believe it was coming over, and he's got to throw in between the zones, and he's out of bounds. There's no question about it.
Boy, does Lofton have a long stride.
Yes, he certainly does.
Second down and 10, and Reuben Henderson is breathing again after a pretty good play on that sideline. On the 20, Dickey's handoff. Turdell Middleton cuts back and gets to the 25-yard line.
Boy, what a great play by Brad Shear. He came from all the way from the backside to get Middleton. Let's take a look at it from the ground view action. As you see Bruce Herron going down the line, gets a good block there by Leotis Harris. Now here's Gary Fensick, and Ellis is going to make the block on him, and you're going to see a body flying from behind, and that's 72, Brad Shear.
Back to action now. Dickey throwing, finding. That's Nixon. Across the middle, they had the extra back in the nickel defense. That time it didn't work. Terry Schmidt makes the tackle. Nixon was really a great running back at Oklahoma, but he can do a lot of things for you.
And that's the example of all that coverage over there on Lofton. A guy like Nixon on the other side gets some one-on-one coverage.
Dickey, 8 for 21 for 139 yards and a big first down there. It's first and 10 out on the 44. Now the Packers can breathe a little bit. The fake draw. And now Dickey goes back to Lofton, who had curled in there inside the 40-yard line. What a catch by Lofton. And a great read by Lynn Dickey.
Boy, you hit it on the head, Tom. What a great read under pressure by Dickey, because he wanted to go to Nixon's side. Now take a look at Dickey as he's going back, fakes the draw, and he's looking over here. He's looking over to the right. No action. All of a sudden, boom, and he pops the ball. He can throw the ball, and a good catch by Lofton, who was all by himself.
Another first down. Dickey is heating it up. Here's the ISO.
Henderson was letting him go downfield to where Walderscheid, but Walderscheid is way too deep on the coverage, and they've made that play work 2 or 3 times.
High formation. Turdell Middleton now at the tailback. And he gets the call straight ahead down to the 35-yard line. Lee Kuntz, number 57, making the stop along with Campbell. Report has Ivory with a strained knee.
A strained left knee, and they don't know whether he'll be back, so that's unfortunate for Green Bay, as the play was brought in on this play. No signal in that time, as number 81, Gary Lewis, the tight end, brought the play in and whispered it to Glenn Dickey.
2nd down 6 on the 35. Pretty good drive here by the Packers.
Watch out.
Thompson is in motion, coming through. Handoff to Ellis, the fullback. He's hit hard by Osborne, but still makes some yardage. He'll unpile about the 32. Coons was under there. You know, Ellis is a good blocker, too. I watched him pick up for the quarterback and protect him in that packet. Good-looking player, this fellow from Missouri. Old Mizzou would be proud of him today.
He's probably the best bargain the Packers have had in a couple of years, wouldn't you say?
Since Bart Starr, who was a 17th-round draft choice.
And now he's one of 3 Packers that had his numbers retired. Bart Starr, Don Hudson, and Tony Canadeo. Wow. What was Tony Canadeo's number? Number 3.
3rd down and 2. It's short yardage time. Page is in there. Uh-oh, dips outside. Middleton makes the corner, and Reuben Henderson knocks him out on the 25-yard line. Cameraman also gets drilled. Boy, Middleton made a good dip to get outside. Again, short yardage is a dangerous defense at times.
A couple of Bears were submarining on the play, and that allowed. Watch the old submarines come in here on the left side of your screen. There is Singletary in there submarining, and boom, Middleton dipped to the outside, and it was Kuntz and Henderson who finally knocked him out of bounds.
Look out now if you're playing pass defense. It's 1st down and 10 on the 25. The Packers are rocking. Less than 2 minutes left in quarter number 3. Ellis left a little early, but he went laterally, got a cut back inside the 20. Gary Ellis. Heron finally making the tackle. I'll tell you, Concar and Goforth, the offensive line, McCarron, they have done a tremendous job blocking today.
Yes, they have run the ball very well, so that line has to be doing the job and deserves a lot of credit. This is one heck of a drive. You know, where did they start this drive? Way back at the 21?
21-yard line. And it's 2nd down and 2 on the 17, the Chicago 17. Handoff to Turdell Middleton. Ooh, gets head on, he gets hit and finally dropped. Bruce Heron locked horns with him at the 16-yard line. Helmet to helmet.
Now this is an area where you got to think strategy. What will the Packers do? It's important for them to get a score on the board, whether it be a touchdown or a field goal, to force the Bears to score twice to beat them. So they may turn conservative and run the ball here and try and get it down.
They will lose the win, the Packers will lose the win when the quarter changes, and there are only about 30 seconds left. Dickey brings them out on 3rd down and 1 on the 16. Oh, boy. A handoff to Middleton. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Atkins, may have been Atkins that carried that ball, but who came through so fast? Was that Campbell?
I'll tell you what, I was looking for something else. I don't know who made that tackle.
Hartenstein.
Might have been Hartenstein, yeah.
Nothing moved. It's going to be 4th and short. And they're going to change with a 4th down situation and inches to go. Short yardage. We thought it was Hartenstein, but it was 23, and it was a great job. Here's Stenerud now trying to kick the Dickey holding. John Stenerud from the 29-yard line. The 25-yard line, pardon me. Which would be a 35-yard field goal and a 10-point lead if it's good. Boy, he is cool under pressure. John Stenerud.
Well, if there's anybody that should be cool under pressure, it's Mr. Stenerud, who has kicked some mighty important field goals over the years as the Packers take the lead over Chicago 16-6. From
action, John Stenerud from the 35. It's a good kick. That's Williams at the 7-yard line. Got a good run back out to almost the 30-yard line. Philadelphia over the Giants. A final score at the Meadowlands, 24-10. Whoa, Baltimore by a point over New England, and it's finally over.
Kansas City over Pittsburgh, 37-33. Some wild scoring games today.
I wonder who's playing quarterback for Kansas City these days. Right on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Vince Evans now trailing by 10 points, 16-6. The fake handoff to Payton. Evans being hit from behind and still gets the ball to Brian Baschnagel. Baschnagel drilled by Maurice Harvey at the 47, 48-yard line.
And he is down on the field. I think Baschnagel may be injured. The Bears went right to the air. Boy, I think it might have been more or less his lights that went out for a second or two.
Evans was really pressured then by Casey Merrill.
Yes, he was. In fact, I thought he actually got his hand on him on the ball as he threw the ball. Play action pass, 1st down pass. And Brian, who concentrates so much on the ball, very seldom ever drops a pass. And then here comes Maurice Harvey with the tackle. And I think his lights went out. Have you ever had your lights go out?
A lot.
You know, you think it's 1988.
At least his are back on. Brian's coming off the field.
Oh, well.
And that will bring young Marjoram in, the rookie from Stanford. Parsons gave him a little help. A very steady player out of Ohio State. It's 16-6. Packers with the lead. Right in, Ricky Watts and Marjoram. The young man, number 89, is to the bottom of your screen, and Vince Evans is a quarterback and has been all afternoon. 1st and 10. Handoff to Walter Payton. Both guards get out. Payton somehow gets pulled down from behind at the 45-yard line, and that's George Cumby.
Oh, super tackle by Cumby.
Walter might have stepped through there and gotten to the sidelines. Cumby made a shoestring tackle.
He comes slithering in. He came slithering in between those pulling guards and made a super ankle tackle, and it was a key one because you get Payton around that horn with a little blocking and a little room, he can go on you, as we have seen already in this game.
You don't beat Oakland and Dallas and Cleveland without having a pretty physical team. The Packers are physical. 2nd down and 6 on the 47.
Keep it moving, keep it moving.
Evans back quickly, drops, sets. Going for Suey, the fullback. Gets rid of one tackler and gets out of bounds at the 41-yard line. John Anderson made the tackle. Suey is going to give Roland Harper some bid for that fullback spot.
Yes, he's played more and more the second half. As you see, the Bear offensive linemen are looking for somebody to block because it was only a 3-man rush, and Suey's out there in the flat. He's got a one-on-one situation, and finally, he is brought down right near the 1st down markers. Mark Lee missed the tackle, but some follow-up tackles. Who was that linebacker that made that tackle? Was that
John Anderson?
Yeah,
came
Anderson.
Over. They're going to measure right now. Evans is not only checking the measurement, but checking with the bench with Marcia Broda to see what would be a good play either way, I suppose. Looks like it's going to be short yardage. I see Cobb coming in.
Brian Braggs is in. Casey Merrill came in.
Marjoram's coming out. Short yardage, I guess. 170 pounds won't do much good.
They have 4 defensive linemen now.
They'll have Robin Earl and Cobb, the 2 big tight ends. You'll be looking for Walter Payton, and you might get Suey.
It's also 2nd down. 3rd down now.
3rd down and less than 1 with 13 minutes left in the football game. You'll get Vince Evans for a 1st down. Of course, he's 6'2", about 207 or 8 pounds himself. Not like the quarterbacks I played with at all.
And he just tells Dan Neal, number 52, just go forward. I'm right on your tail. And that's what he did. Put his head down, and boy, he was on his tail, wasn't he?
Wedge blocking, you're right. Right on the 40-yard line. A 1st down with 12 and a half minutes left. And the Bears have got to somehow get Probably 2 touchdowns on the board. They got to score twice. They trail by 10. Marjoram is flanked to the top of your screen. Evans faking the draw. He's being rushed and dropped by Butler. A great pass rush by Butler.
Michael Butler, a good pass rusher. Ezra Johnson, also a good pass rusher, who have had some really fine seasons for the Packers on sacks. Let's watch number 77 right there.
And he's a giant, 270 pounds, out of Kansas, a #1 draft.
He got the high five at the play action pass, and you're going to see him coming from the left side of your screen, and Evans had no chance. And if he had been able to look out in the flat, Walter Payton was all by himself on the short pass.
2nd down and 18 on the 48. Marjoram is flanked to the bottom. Williams is in there. Evans steps up, gets it to Williams, coming across, breaks a tackle at the 40 to the 38-yard line. A great all-purpose back out of Colorado, where he was a quarterback. He's played fullback for the Bears, and now he's trimmed down, and he's a pretty good pass receiver, John.
Yes, he is, as both Bear option guards there are looking for somebody to block because of the short rush. And Williams came out from the right halfback spot and circled around. Payton was out to the outside and had to try and come over here and help out and block. And finally knocked down by Douglas. Now we have a critical situation. 3rd and 8.5, 9 yards.
If there are pivotal plays, this is a big play for Chicago. 3rd down and 8. Marjoram is in the slot to the left, to the top of your screen. Blitz. Quickly, here comes the blitz. Evans can run. He's thrown it. Guard. Cut. Oh! By Davey Williams in the end zone on the dead run all by himself.
And did you see that throw by Evans on the run, who probably could have run down the field 20 yards, but he threw it in stride, off balance, kind of falling away, and got the zing on the ball as the Packers put the blitz on, one of their few all-out blitzes. And here comes Evans, and that is some kind of heave, and the pass couldn't have been more perfect.
46 or 7 yards right there.
Oh, Dave Williams is normally sure-handed.
It brings up a punting situation with 10 minutes and 54 seconds left. The Packers with a 10-point lead. Parsons can throw. He was a quarterback in college. It is 4th and 8. He's punting a dead ball for the corner. Let's see where they line it up. The 13-yard line. Green Bay will have the ball. Sometimes the ball weighs a ton. Packers with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 13. It's a slot left now. Middleton and Atkins are the running backs behind Dickey. Here comes the blitz. Oh! Dickey gets it off. It's Lofton, steps out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Boy, Dickey is cool under a rush.
Well, remember I mentioned earlier in the game, when they're down deep in their own territory, he sees a blitz, he's not going to be afraid to throw the ball. And that time, just a down slant in and back to the sidelines, and it was like duck soup. The pass was right there, and almost a 1st down. Lofton, actually, if he could take a little bit better look, he might have been able to get an extra step and get the 1st down.
And good receivers, though, you know, they shorten those patterns when they hear blitz yelled out. Good play. 2nd down and 1 on the 22. A pickup of 9 on that. Fullbacks coming up. Atkins. Gary Campbell making the stop.
Boy, it's going to be very close for the 1st down. Again, they got it.
10.5 minutes left. And 10 points between Chicago and Green Bay on one of the most beautiful afternoons you'll ever see around Chicago or anywhere else. And nobody's left. In fact, if anything, we might have another 10,000 that somehow got in. It's jammed.
The Packers actually don't even have to score in this drive, but if they could get 3 or 4 1st downs in running situations, they could really eat up a lot of that clock and put all kinds of pressure on.
Lofton is out to the bottom of the screen, and Thompson to the top. Atkins, Middleton. Here's the draw play to Turdell Middleton, trying to get outside. Finsick's there. And Bruce Herron into that tackle. And the clock continues, 9:40. And obviously Green Bay wants it to move and wheel. very well prepared. The Packers came in here to play a game. They didn't have a lot of contact in camp. Bart Starr said, if the guys are going to get hurt, let's let them get hurt against the other fellas.
Very few scrimmages because everybody got banged up last year, and he got tired of seeing people hurt. So they had an easy camp as far as scrimmages. They have a lot of exercises, but very few scrimmages.
Second down and 7. Atkins hit hard at the 25. Fensick first. Atkins, a big fella, went down in a cloud of dust that time. Gary Campbell also hit him, and Brad Shear, the big Texan, got in on hurry-up offense.
No dust, just saliva on this field.
Trying to catch the Bears shifting around on defense. It's third down and 7. On the 26. Handoff to Middleton. Nowhere to go. Dragged down from behind.
8 minutes and 41 seconds. Excuse me, Tom.
That's all right. Otis Wilson made a good tackle, and now they're going to get the ball back. Stakowitz, the rookie. Certainly the biggest game, I guess, of his life, other than Rose Bowls and things like that, but he is a rookie. Jeff Fisher will be back.
And as you mentioned, he's been kicking a lot of line drives, and a chance for Fisher to return it.
8 minutes and 13 seconds left. Stakowitz kick, it's a good kick, and it's hanging well. At the 30, Fisher hit hard, holds on to the ball this time. Around the 35-yard line, Prather, the young linebacker, making the tackle. The Bears have 8:03, and the Packers hope they can't score 10 points. It's Green Bay 16, Chicago 6. Vince Evans with a 1st and 10 on the Chicago 37. Suey's in at fullback, and Walter Payton is in at halfback. Inside to Walter Payton, up over and hit hard at the 41.
Okay, a final score. Cincinnati 27-21 over Seattle. Cincinnati was down 21-3. They won that ball game. How about that? Buffalo 3-0 over the Jets. That's in the second quarter. Oakland leading Denver 7-6 in the first quarter. And the Rams off to an early lead over Houston, 7-3.
Second down 7 after the run by Payton. It's on the 40-yard line. Evans might have changed the play. Suey darts back inside, breaks out over midfield into Green Bay territory. John Anderson making the tackle. Boy, Suey can really cut at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, he can. He seems to have good eyes, a good set of eyes for vision. Peripheral vision is the word I'm thinking, as he dips back away from the traffic and then just turns it on down the field. Matt Suey out of Penn State, who is really doing a good job, and he has played the entire second half. I don't know if there's anything Rowan Harper. We have no reports on Rowan Harper as far as being injured.
1st and 10, just inside Green Bay territory. Marjoram running the sideline, and the Stanford rookie catches the ball, and you'll never see a better set of hands on anybody other than a pickpocket in New York City. This kid can catch everything.
They call him Spider Legs. He is a partner, by the way, of James Lofton. They have a business together out there in California. It's a simple deep out pattern, as you're going to see Evans, and he rifles a bullet. Boy, when he cocks that arm and fires, and it was right on the dime for Marjoram, who is a small guy but was never injured during his whole college career.
I think he's a lot faster than some people think he is too, John. All right, you're looking at Ricky Watts and Marjoram. They're slotted to the left side. A 1st and 10 on the 33 of Green Bay. Evans looking for a screen setup. Oh, he's going deep anyway. Marjoram in the end zone. Oh, jumps and knocks the ball away. 3 Green Bay defenders. Mike McCoy might have been the one that really did the job. He and Mark Lee.
I think they might get a Bear offensive lineman for being downfield because they were setting up the screen. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating here. But they might have had somebody too far down the line of scrimmage.
The screen did not develop because either one of those linebackers smelled it or Butler, but they drifted out and grabbed a hold of people.
Anyway, it's going to go against Chicago. We'll have to find out what the call is.
.6:42 on the clock. That's all she wrote. Each team has the 3 timeouts left. Let's see it.
Offensive pass interference, number 85.
Robert Fisher.
The tight end trying to get off the line of scrimmage. They put that linebacker on your nose. It is a battle. 1st and 20. The ball on the 43 is Thomas thinking about a field goal possibility. warms up. Oh, flags are flying. Fisher does not hold on to the ball, and the flags are back in the pass protection pocket.
Ezra Johnson put the pop on Vince Evans, but they're going to call holding on the Bears, which I'm sure the Packers will take the penalty.
That is the 9th penalty by the Chicago Bears.
But Green Bay really has put on a good pass rush without much blitzing help. Those linemen have played their best game of the year, I think, so far. Defensive line for Green Bay.
And their linebackers should be arrested. They are aggressive, aren't they?
Holding, number 64, offense, first down.
Albrecht was detected for holding under the rules. I don't know how you can tell from one hold from the other.
You better get your calculator out to determine how far they got to go for a first down.
Well, it says first down and 30 from the Chicago 47 now. Brian Baschnagel is back in the game, and he's slotted to the top with Marjoram. Ricky Watts is down to the bottom of your screen. Inside it, out to Williams. Davey Williams, head-to-head at the 45.
A nice little gain for Chicago, but I'm sure the Packers will say, fine, if you want to throw those little passes out to the backs, you can eat up the clock and just go down the field slowly. We'll give you that. We're not going to let anybody get behind you. As the Bears quickly huddle, the time is really becoming a factor. 6:13. And here it is, across to the backfield. There's Williams taking it on the quick pass.
Okay, 2nd down and 21 on the Green Bay 44. Evans quickly sets up. He's getting rushed. He still gets it off. Oh, and hits Ricky Watts inside the 20-yard line. Johnny Gray was all over him, but Ricky Watts almost jumped out of Soldier Field. What a catch.
Okay, Ricky Watts had a lot of time to thread his way as Mark Lee came up to jam him, and Watts down and across, and Evans had plenty of time to throw the ball. And this was a nice grab. That was high. And under pressure, Johnny Gray makes the tackle, but can you believe that? The Bears ended up getting a first down.
1st and 10. They sure simplified my job. 1st and 10 on the 19 with 5:19 left. Ricky Watts to the bottom of your screen. Evans, a draw play. Payton gets cut off. Now he's circling back. Evans gets a block. Walter Payton keeps digging, almost gets out and gets to the 16-yard line. Draw that one up on your telestrator.
I don't think I can do that. I'll tell you what, it was a draw play, and they got mixed up on the handoff, and Payton took off, and when he turned around the other way, he almost picked up a convoy. I thought he was going to go for a touchdown for a minute there. As both players, both Suey and Payton thought they were running the draw on that, I believe. Now here comes Payton outside, all kinds of white jerseys, so he says, I'm going to go the other way. This is a 150-yard run, but he didn't get too many yards out of him. Evans throws a nice block. And then finally, he runs out of convoy, and the Packers pursue and make the tackle.
A 3-yard gain by Walter Payton. Evans being chased, gets away, sidearms one, and it's no good. Intended for Walter Payton.
Boy, there, George Cumbie came over the top.
There's a flag down back by Evans. Let's see if it's going to be rushing the passer. I don't know. He was running out of the pocket, but he did get nailed.
And the Bears are claiming that Payton was interfered with by Cumbie downfield, and then there's a flag back here at the 35, like you say, with Evans, so we'll have to see what the call is.
Is that a flag or part of a Green Bay Packers pants?
Oh, it might be. Nobody bites. Butkus is gone. Nobody bites anymore.
Remember, if it's a major penalty,
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Automatic.
90 on the defense.
Automatic first down. Ezra Johnson.
Okay, we're going to see it as Evans goes out of the pocket. Mike Douglas is on the chase. And if you can watch Payton down here in the middle of your screen and Cumbie 52, you got to see two things at one time. There was Ezra Johnson hitting. Boy, I tell you, that's a tough call.
He used the helmet. That's the reason he got caught. It's 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. 4:14 left. Evans going back. He's being chased. Oh, he throws this one away. And he was knocked down again, this time by Casey Merrill.
Casey Merrill and Mike Butler were both there, and Evans did the wise thing. He just didn't have time to do anything else, so he threw it out of the end zone.
And stopped that clock. The Bears still with 3 timeouts and 4:09 and a deficit of 10 points. The Packers have played tough. Second down and 8. Second down and goal.
Here they come.
Here comes the blitz. Evans stands in there, and Davey Williams can't handle this one. It was high and hard. Wingo was the linebacker covering. That ball really had mustard on it.
Yes, it did. They had Michael Douglas coming. They had 2 linebackers coming that time, and they haven't done that all that much today, and that prevented Evans from having a lot of time to throw, and it works.
There's 4:05 left on the clock. Incomplete pass. Stopped it. Here we come now with a left formation. Ricky Watts and Baschnagel to the top of the screen to the left. Third down and 8. Evans rolling away.
Uh-oh.
He sidearms one and misses Walter Payton, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Michael Douglas thought he had an interception. If that pass had been accurate, Douglas would have gone 85 yards with the ball. As we're going to take a look at the replay, and let's watch Ricky Watts up there on the north side of the stadium, you might say, east side. He's got Mike McCoy covering him. He sees him in trouble. He does what he's supposed to do. Keep running, and hope that Evans will spot him because he was wide open. But when you're a quarterback and you got 6'8" guys hanging all over you, sometimes it's hard to look downfield. The Bears are going to take the 3, which means their last drive is not going to be able to be a field goal to tie the game.
Remember now, Thomas has had a pulled muscle in the kicking leg. Baschnagel's holding. Thomas kicks it. Baschnagel signaled it was good, and the official does too. A 16-9 game, and Thomas breathes.
God, they are.
It's got to go 10 yards, which it did, but Green Bay went for the ball and got it.
Boy, that's a lot of time left to be trying that, but at least they tried something. What the heck?
There's 3:54 still on the clock. Gary Lewis made the recovery. That's a tough ball to recover, too, you know.
Yes, it is. But they sure have good field position now at the Bear 47-yard line.
A first down. Lynn Dickey has gone all the way at quarterback. And he has shown a lot of poise. He's got Ellis behind him and Turdell Middleton. I formation. But somebody blitzed in the secondary, and Middleton ran right inside of it.
It was Fensick on the blitz. And they were like 2 cars passing on the freeway.
Middleton picks up 5 good yards. Kuntz made the tackle, number 57. Singletary, the number 2 draft from Baylor, has not played today, the young linebacker. Denver and Oakland locked in one in the second period in a tough division, too. 9-7, Oakland. Second down and 6. Ellis, the fullback, looking for somewhere to go. Chicago has the ball. Walterscheid. Lenny Walterscheid gets a fumble, and the Bears have the ball on about the 46-yard line. Ellis put the ball outside.
He lost it around the side of his back, and he could not gain control. He had the right idea here. It was a little bit jammed up, so he started to cut back against the grain, and he just never got a hold of it here. He's carrying it very loosely. He lost it, and he can't quite get it. He says, where is that thing? And it was Walterscheid, I believe, who made the recovery, and the Bears now have their chance.
Baschnagel comes into the huddle, and Big Fisher comes out. Ricky Watts, number 80, and Marjoram, number 89. And Baschnagel, 3 outside receivers. Vince Evans, the quarterback. Walter Payton and Williams in the backfield. And 3:09 on the clock. First and 10. Handoff to Walter Payton, who they caught him in the backfield. He gets away and gets back to the line of scrimmage somehow as Butler had him by the shirt.
It's amazing how those guys got across the line of scrimmage on an end run like that, you know. You should be able to get the guy at least away from the defensive lineman on an end run. They're really coming across.
They must study the plays of Walter Payton carrying the ball so much that they really know almost every carry what the line's going to do or block. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The Chicago team is on their own 46, and they're 3:03 left. Evans straight back.
Going for Watts.
Watts can't hang on to it. It was a hot, low throw, but he was open. Vince Evans now trying to keep some life. We can get it.
Well, anytime you've got Ricky Watts coming down and you're only ahead by 7 points, you know, that deep man is going to stay deep. He's not going to let him get behind him, and the ball was just kind of low and scooted in there. I think it would have been a trap even if he had hung on to the ball.
3rd down and 10. Do you run a draw play with Payton? Or do you go ahead and go upstairs and get it? Vince Evans has that decision. 2:57 left.
Uh-oh. Here they come.
Back, coming across. He's hit. That may be called a completion. No, they're going to call it incomplete. Mark Lee really drilled Ricky Watts.
He certainly did, and that's what caused him to drop the ball. Good, aggressive, fundamental football by Mark Lee. Watts had the position on him. He really just hard-nosed football, jolted the ball loose. He is really open, and here comes the tackle. Came in there shoulder first and knocked the ball right loose. Now, you talked about the new rule. It is confusing to me, and I've heard it 1,000 times. They're saying if you have control, both feet come to the ground, then you lose the ball, that it's a completion. Am I correct?
And it's a live ball. They called that one incomplete. It's 4th down and 10. This might be the dying gasp for Vince Evans and the Bears. Evans straight back. Good protection. Oh, he finds Baschnagel down to the 37-yard line. John Anderson makes the stop. What a good pattern Brian Baschnagel runs.
He is Mr. Clutch. He has caught 2 or 3 clutch passes today as the Packers try to crisscross with their defensive linemen. Could not get there as the Bears sat back and waited for it. And there's Baschnagel bringing the ball in, taking his punishment. 1st down Chicago. That was a 4th down play. That was the old ball game right there as far as the Bears' chances.
The clock is running, 2:21. Remember, they have to have a touchdown. The Bears must score a touchdown. They trail by 7. Evans back. Out in the flat to Walter Payton. Payton almost hypnotized the linebackers and gets outside and stops the clock. McCoy making the tackle. There's a flag on the field, on this side of the field, away from the action.
It may have had something to do with a receiver and a defender away from the play.
Automatic first if it's defensive holding. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The Packers will certainly discuss this, but the Chicago bench loves it. Neil Armstrong and Ryan there. He doesn't mean number 1 yet. He means let's get it. It's a 1st down.
It's a big one, too. 15 yards.
McElwee will tell us. Mark Lee, number 22, a personal foul, which usually means an elbow across the chin strap.
Something along that order.
2 minutes and 10 seconds left. 1st and 10 now. The ball on the Green Bay 14 and a half. Marjoram comes to the right side, flank. Ricky Watts out to the left. Evans hands off to Walter Payton on the sweep. Both guards get out. Payton uses stiff arm and gets to the 10-yard line. Anderson making the tackle. John Anderson has to have made 15 tackles. He and Cumbie between them, huh?
Yeah, they've been around the football all day. In fact, the Packers, I mean, he hold Payton to what they have. He may have 100 yards, but he's carried a lot of times, which is
79 on 18 carries. That's a good defensive job. 2nd down and 6. The ball on the 10-yard stripe. And the place is going crazy. to Walter Payton running left.
Big room.
Jackson's out in front, and he's pulled down from behind and really roughed up. Mike Douglas and Mike McCoy, the cornerback, is standing and cheering. At least 64,000, not all for Chicago, but for a heck of a good football game, and it's been a tough game. All right, there's 1:59 on the clock. The Bears trail the Packers by 7. They're on the Green Bay 8-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 4.
Look at the officials. They're huddling. They want to get excited about this game.
They better get into this game.
They're checking timeouts. They're checking everything to make sure they have everything squared away, but it looked like 3 huddles out there on the field.
The Bears still have 3 timeouts. And, of course, the 2-minute warning gave them a free one to get themselves together. It's 3rd and a long 4. Marjoram is in. Ricky Watts is in. Fisher is in at tight end. Suey's in at fullback. And you know that number 34 is there.
3rd and 4. Interesting situation.
You're thinking sudden death, perhaps. This is only the first game of the season. Vince Evans breaks him out.
I'd try and give Vince some kind of option as far as a partial rollout, maybe.
Evans straight back. He's looking for his back. He has Suey at the 4.5-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down. Did he get out of bounds, or will they have to burn a timeout? Anderson making the tackle. Clock is still running, 1:45. Suey making another clutch catch.
He certainly is, and he has won himself a little bit more playing time as he went down to the outside, made sure the catch, both elbows in, and finally it was Anderson who brought him down, but not before the Bears. Oh, no, they're actually short. They didn't get the 1st down. They're 4th and a couple of inches.
Oh, that really does make it binding. At 1:37's on the clock. It looked like he made the 4-yard line before he was shelled over there. Was that Anderson making the tackle again?
Yes. Well, they have plenty of timeouts, so they have 2 left, don't they? 2 left.
Let's see what they do. We recall during preseason when short yardage situations were tough, but that's when Walter Payton wasn't playing. Walter Payton can fly into the end zone from there. Don't forget, immediately following this game, this nail-biter, the U.S. Open Tennis Championship from Flushing Meadow, New York. Bjorn Borg against a young man named Carter. But right now, it's Vince Evans against a lot of Green Bay Packers.
Well, the brain trusts are working now.
How short is short, right? It's got to be a few inches. We never did have him bring the sticks into the middle of the field.
The Bears usually will go with the quarterback sneak on such short yardage, but with the time factor, we'll have to see.
4th down and less than a yard. Evans got the first, and they'll probably call a timeout there. Clock is still running at 1:30. 1:28. If they call for a measurement, they might have been able to stop that clock. I can't believe they didn't call for a measurement and have the official stop it for them. 1:12, 1:11.
And 21 seconds left to get the ball snapped. Boy, they got a lot of time run down on that between. They took so long to get off the pile.
That is a long 3 yards. That's almost 4 yards, but it's a 1st down and goal on the 4-yard line, I'm going to call it. Evans with nobody in the backfield but Suey, the fullback, remaining. Long Collie, the fake. Oh!
They didn't make it. They didn't get it off in time.
The 30-second clock. That's a tough 5 yards to get back.
Between the unpiling and between the 30 seconds to take up the clock, I think about 50 seconds went off of that clock, and the Bears still didn't get the play off.
If you're the captain, you demand for those sticks to be brought in to make sure, and obviously Green Bay didn't want to do it.
You talk about changing a situation now. The Bears are going to have to go topside. The Packers have forced them into a passing situation for sure now.
Still 1st down, which isn't very important, but that 8 yards That's a lot of territory against this bunch. Neil Armstrong, Dick Stanfill. So close, and yet so far, they trail by 7 points. It's a first down play with 45 seconds. You can see the time. Evans, he's got a lot of time. He hits Stewie. Stewie fumbles, and the ball's out of bounds. Let's see where they place it. It's going to be Chicago possession. That's the quick possession we were talking about, the new rules.
You talk about the luck of the draw. Stewie fumbled that ball, and the Packers got control, but not before it bounced out of bounds. Stewie down on the flare out. And here comes the tackle. Johnny Gray stripped the ball from him. Mark Lee got his left hand on it, and he could not gain possession of the ball. You look at it from ground level, as you're going to see Stewie come right into your picture and make the grab. What a beautiful shot this is. There he is. Johnny Gray stripped the ball. Mark Lee, 22, had it, but it's still Chicago's ball. 32 seconds left on the
3-yard line. It's a short yardage looking offense with the wing up. Stewie and Walter Payton. Stewie gets the handoff, cuts inside. Did he get to the end zone with the ball? The Packers say they recovered the fumble. The Packers say they have the ball.
I didn't see the fumble, did you? But the Packers are jumping up and down.
The Packers have the ball in their hands. Let's see what the officials say. Both teams now are doing side straddle hops. It was right at the goal line. Stewie put his right shoulder down and headed for it and never quite made it.
I can see it coming now. This is going to be one of those controversial plays that they're going to...
The Packers, the whole team has come off the bench, and Green Bay gets the football. Green Bay recovers the turnover, the fumble.
Did you see the fumble?
We did not see it, John. Let's take a look.
Okay, Matt Stewie, 26. He cuts back nicely now. He's got the ball. Oh, gee.
He's on the ground when that ball came out.
Johnny Gray recovered. He was on the ground, it appeared. I don't know. That's going to be a call they're going to talk about for several weeks.
Well, you're down, you're down. That ball was with him, and he was down. But a great stand by Green Bay. And talk about frustration.
The other thing was he was very close to crossing the plane of the goal line when he was in the air there, and if that's the case, that's touchdown too. So we'll have to probably see 15,000 replays and slow-mos from different angles, and they'll be discussing it for several weeks.
Borg now in front of Carter in that U.S. Open Tennis Championships. That's following, of course, right after this game. And if that's a fumble, I might be in the wrong business for the last 20 years.
Okay, let's take a look there. Obviously, he's going to fall forward and just...
23 seconds left. Dickey just keeps it. Timeout by Fensick. That's a Chicago timeout.
I think the Bears are down to... That's it in timeouts, or do they have one left? I think
Bears have one left. Let's look at the fumble again by Stewie. The young fullback behind Walter Payton, behind Noah Jackson's block, a good block.
Okay, we'll look at it real slow here and see. It doesn't appear he crossed the plane of the goal line, but it did appear that he was down on the ground before he fumbled the ball, to me. But the Packers were alert and jumped on the ball, and then there was the big huddle among officials. One of those calls that...
The officials never got into the play very quickly. Usually there's an official right in the middle of the thing.
I don't know.
You think this division, this Central Division, isn't going to be some kind of a wacky conference this year? Tampa Bay beats Minnesota in the last few minutes on an interception. This has been really a good football game. I thought here that Green Bay might take a safety and protect their quarterback. If Dickey's going to try to sneak for a couple of more times, that could be rather dangerous to your health.
Well, they can run him out of timeout, so I think all he has to do is just, if he can just fall down, he doesn't even have to try and run, and just lay down is all he has to do.
17 seconds, and it's ticking. Now it's held up. The Bears have burned their last one. The executive producer of NFL football is Terry O'Neill. The senior producer is Charles H. Milton III, better known to us as Red Eye. David Dinkins Jr. is our producer, and Bobby Fishman has given us some great shots and some great replays for you this afternoon, and this has been some kind of a good football game.
Well, a man as happy is right there, Mr. Bart Starr.
He's worked at it. He brought this club in, and they took the opening kickoff and stuck it right down the Bears' throat and scored, and that was a good drive.
And up there in that press box is George Halas, the man who's owned these Bears since 1920, began the National Football League. I know that he's probably dying a few deaths on this one because he's been involved in a lot of Green Bay, Chicago games. But for Bart Starr, I would have to say this might be his most satisfying victory because he was so upset at that 61-7, and you know how something can dig on you for a whole season or a whole off season. You got to know that he is as happy as can be as Los Angeles leads Houston 10-6. Tampa Bay last night beat Minnesota 21-13. There's Papa Bear.
There he is.
86 years old.
Boy, this is a good, solid football team, though. This season is not over after the home opener. Third down quarterback sneak by Dickey. And Dickey has played some football game as the signal caller for Green Bay today. That looks like that's it. No, can't hold the clock now. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's over. Green Bay 19. Chicago 9. The Green Bay Packers have